millions of people around the world awaken to their talents simultaneously. Some awaken to an SS-tier talent known as Emperor's Eye, which can see through anything, while others awaken to an SSS-tier talent known as Time Travel that allows them to traverse through time. However, Lin Luo only awakens to an F-tier talent called Plunder. Anyone he defeats, he can plunder their talent level. A mysterious stone tablet descends upon Blue Planet, and its powerful energy completely destroys Country R. The 5 major powers of Blue Planet dispatch scientists to study the tablet. Meanwhile, in an inconspicuous company in Hang City, Zhang Wei is showing Lin Luo the girl he has just adopted. However, he finds that Lin Luo has no reaction and is just standing there with a dull expression, tears silently streaming from the corners of his eyes. Lin Luo is in a daze, thinking, why am I here? Shouldn't I be in that chaotic era? The last moment he remembers, he was fighting with tiger-level monsters to increase his talent level. Unexpectedly, there was a ghost-level monster in the group, lured there by an enemy. His brother died protecting him, and he himself was brutally killed by the enemy who had been stalking him. The root cause of all this turmoil was their refusal to hand over the spirit ascending crystal they possessed. In that chaotic era, being weak was a sin. Lin Luo soon snaps out of his memories, somewhat dazedly asking, what's today's date? Zhang Wei looks at him puzzled. Are you okay? It's November 12th, 2025. Lin Luo is overjoyed upon learning the date. He has been reborn on the day of the awakening 3 years ago. Just then, a sharp, acrid voice sounds from behind him. Lin Luo, your performance is the worst in the team. You're fired. Go to the finance department to sell your pay. You don't need to come back this afternoon. Lin Luo looks at the person who seems like a clown and suddenly smiles. The company manager, Wang Jichao, is just as annoying as he was in his past life. In his previous life, this scumbag Wang Jichao turned into a demon after awakening his talent. Wang Jichao harvested the organs and lives of ordinary people in exchange for resources. Seeing Lin Luo not daring to retort, he continued to mutter, a bastard raised by a thief is worthy of Wen Yuxi's admiration. Lin Luo didn't pay him any attention and directly turned to leave. In his previous life, he got into a fight with the manager after being mocked, which led to his arrest and detention for 10 days. This caused him to miss the first and most crucial wave of opportunities in the era of global reclassification. By the time Lin Luo was released after awakening his talent, most people were already above level 10. He had been an orphan since childhood and was raised by a thief. But what people didn't know was that the brother who raised him, though a thief, was the light in his dark life. His brother was also an orphan and, being too young to find work, had to resort to theft to support Lin Luo. Although they were not related by blood, their bond was stronger than that of biological siblings. In his past life, his brother was sentenced to 15 years in prison for his crimes, only to be released early due to his awakening of an A-tier talent and making a significant contribution. Lin Luo became strong slowly with the help of his brother. Once, Lin Luo accidentally killed someone and joyfully found that his talent level directly rose to that of the person he killed. In other words, he could plunder other people's talents by killing them. But his brother, who had been through prison, warned him never to intentionally kill or they would sever their relationship. To Lin Luo, his brother naturally mattered more than gaining power. However, his brother's kindness didn't lead to a good end in that chaotic and dark era. They did not die at the hands of beasts or in dungeons, but rather at the hands of their own kind. Lin Luo quickly left the hardware store, carrying the tools he would use for his upcoming plunder. The look in his eyes grew colder and colder. If good deeds go unrewarded, then he might as well become a villain. Only by being worse than the villains can you completely bury those who harmed them and truly take control of your own destiny. Lin Luo returned to the office and hid in the men's restroom. The moment of global awakening, as he remembered, soon arrived. Lin Luo of Blue Planet, welcome to the new era. Blue Planet will, from this moment on, open various levels of dungeons and secret realms in various places. Upon awakening your talents, entering these places will awaken your combat professions. Congratulations, you have acquired F-tier talent, Plunder. Upon taking a life, you can plunder 1% of one of their attribute values or 1% of their talent effects. Being reborn before the start of the new era, he clearly knew all the famous dungeon clearing methods and the locations of opportunities in all the secret realms. Most importantly, he knew how to quickly elevate his talent to SSS tier. In this new life, he intended to completely reverse all the frustrations of his past life. Suddenly, the voice of manager Wang Jichao came from outside the restroom. Xiao Mei, I've awakened S-tier talent Healing Grasp. If you stick with me, you'll definitely have a good life. Lin Luo's face turned grim. He was hiding here precisely to wait for Wang Jichao. This would be the first target he would plunder. Lin Luo used a rope to violently strangle him from behind. The overwhelming sensation of suffocation and pain made the manager utterly terrified. Suddenly, a green figure leapt out of Wang Jichao's body, a special form called Substitute, which only those with S-tier talents could manifest. It immediately began to heal the injuries on Wang Jichao's neck. Unfortunately, the healing speed was clearly slower than the rate at which he was getting injured. His life force was still rapidly draining away. You have plundered the opponent's soul force. Your F-tier talent has evolved into D-tier. Your D-tier talent has has evolved into C tier. Finally, Wang Jichao showed no signs of life. Lin Luo's talents soared directly from F tier to S tier. His Plunder skill also grew into an S tier talent with significantly enhanced effects. Upon taking a life, you can choose to plunder one of the following: all attribute values, talent effects, skill effects, or soul force. The cooldown has also been reduced to 1 day. Once the talent reaches S tier, you can also manifest your own substitute. With a low shout, Lin Luo commanded, "Come forth, my substitute." A pitch-black figure quickly materialized before his eyes. This imposing figure was cloaked in menacing, sharp metallic armor with a large black cape fluttering in the wind behind him. This was Lin Luo's S-tier substitute, Dark Emperor. At the same time, an attribute panel appeared before his eyes. Lin Luo was thrilled to discover that Dark Emperor's strength, agility, and growth all reached a high value of 200. The 200-point mark is the limit that all attributes, aside from life value, can reach for an S-tier substitute. For SS tier, the limit is 400, and for SSS tier, it's 600. Dark Emperor actually had 3 attributes at their maximum limit. Even in the chaotic era to come, this substitute would be a top-tier entity. Lin Luo ordered Dark Emperor to dispose of manager Wang Jichao's body, then nonchalantly left the company restroom. He aimlessly wandered the streets. His usually quiet class group chat had become lively due to the Global Awakening event. "I've awakened an S-tier talent. Book of Wishes." A message from someone named Lu Ming popped up. Most in the group had only awakened F or D-tier talents, but this message caught Lin Luo's attention. Lin Luo remembered that during college, Lu Ming had been a sycophant in his previous life. After awakening his talent, Lu Ming had quickly ended up with his college crush, Fang Mingchu. Later, he brutally murdered his former leaders and the inspectors who were pursuing him, eventually joining the dark organization known as Smiling Coffin. Killing such a person and plundering his talents would be a public service. Resolved, Lin Luo directly dialed Lu Ming's number. Meanwhile, in a hotel on the other end, a triumphant Lu Ming was examining his own substitute's attributes. Named Master of Wishes, this substitute had only one ability: to fulfill the host's wishes. A visibly excited Lu Ming made his first wish: "I want to completely win Fan Mingchu's body and soul." Upon hearing this, Master of Wishes immediately began flipping through a book he held. An indescribable, dazzling light flashed across the pages. "Master, your wish has been fulfilled," he said, his figure gradually fading away. Clearly, fulfilling that wish had drained all of Master of Wishes' energy. An impatient Lu Ming immediately texted Fan Mingchu, who had previously been indifferent to him but now referred to him as darling. He instantly asked Fan Mingchu to wear his favorite black stockings and come to see him. After receiving an affirmative reply, Lu Ming burst into excited shouts. He couldn't believe how the Global Awakening had turned him from an ugly duckling into a swan. Just then, Lin Luo's call came through. "Lu Ming, I've discovered a secret about S-tier talents. Where are you? I'd like to discuss this in person." Startled, Lu Ming wondered, "Have you also awakened an S-tier talent? I'm in a hotel. Come over." After hanging up, a sinister look crossed Lu Ming's face. "First, I'll get Lin Luo's secret, and then I'll properly enjoy my time with my goddess." 10 minutes later, Lin Luo walked into the room and casually closed the door, surveying the room. Growing impatient, Lu Ming said, "Didn't you mention a secret about S-tier talents? Well, go on. I have a date later." Leaning in close to his ear, Lin Luo mysteriously began, "The secret about S-tier talents is..." Suddenly, a black knight in armor materialized behind Lu Ming, punching him and sending him flying across the room. This punch from Dark Emperor had 20 times the strength of a regular human, immediately causing Lu Ming's facial features to cave in. By the time he landed on the floor, he had already lost all signs of life. "Your S-tier talent Plunder has activated. Please choose one from the target's attribute values, talent effects, skill effects, or soul power to plunder." The prompt appeared. As Lu Ming was still an ordinary person who had not even entered any instances to gain a job class, his attribute values were negligible. He also lacked any skills. Soul power is used for leveling up one's own talents, but Lin Luo was already at an S-tier level. Plundering from one Lu Ming wouldn't be enough to raise it to SS tier. Considering the current situation, gaining another S-tier talent would be more beneficial for him. Successfully plundered the target's talent. "Congratulations, you've acquired the S-tier talent Book of Wishes." Book of Wishes can switch between 3 wishes: Heart's Desire, Battle Hardened. This increases your hit rate and critical hit rate by 20% and doubles experience gained from killing enemies. Heart's Desire, Iron Wall, increases dodge rate by 20% and nullifies one attack from any source every 10 minutes. Heart's Desire, Good Luck, increases your luck tenfold. Upon acquiring his second S-tier talent, Lin Luo felt a new surge of power emanate from within him. He softly muttered, "Come forth, Master of Wishes." A young man clad in a black robe, holding a massive book, appeared before him. The young man then respectfully bowed. "My great master, Master of Wishes heeds your summons. Any wish you have can be fulfilled by my Book of Wishes." Somewhat surprised, Lin Luo asked, "You can directly communicate with me?" "Yes, Master. I am a functional type substitute. I'm not adept at combat, but any wish you have can be fulfilled by my Book of Wishes. The simpler the wish, the less it drains me, the more complex." stacks, the more it drains. In theory, my book of wishes can grant any wish. Additionally, my intelligence far surpasses that of other substitutes, and I can assist you in devising strategies. Immediately, Lin Luo inquired, how can I use your abilities most efficiently? After pondering for a moment, Master of Wishes responded, I believe the most efficient use would be to ask for information. Information is immensely valuable, yet it drains me minimally. Lin Luo, being intelligent himself, quickly understood the rationale. For instance, if I ask you to directly give me a treasure hidden in a secret realm, that would consume a lot of your energy. However, if I merely ask you to tell me the location of that treasure, your consumption would be minimal. Master, you are truly intelligent, Master of Wishes complimented. Additionally, wishes with higher feasibility consume less energy. Creating something from nothing consumes more. For example, asking me for lottery numbers would consume less energy than asking me to conjure a bottle of water for you. Lin Luo thoughtfully nodded his head. He had roughly understood the capabilities of Master of Wishes. How much energy would it take to release my brother Zhou Xingdong from the Oversight Bureau? Upon hearing this, Master of Wishes began flipping through his book of wishes. Master, to fulfill this wish, I would exhaust all my energy and fall into a deep slumber. Lin Luo appeared to understand. It seems that wishes also have to be logical. The most suitable course of action now would be to gather intelligence on other S-tier individuals. At this point, Dark Emperor had returned after dealing with the body. Lin Luo noticed a clock with only one hand embedded in Dark Emperor's chest and quickly asked, does a substitute's appearance have something to do with its abilities? Yes, Master. A substitute's form is related to its abilities and the soul state of its host. Master of Wishes confirmed. Lin Luo's heart skipped a beat. The abilities of substitute Dark Emperor obviously had nothing to do with time. Could it be because of his reincarnation? He kept this thought at the back of his mind and left the room. His Plunder talent had entered a one-day cooldown period. It was time to explore some dungeons and secret realms. As he walked, he encountered Fang Mengchu, who was wearing a short skirt and black stockings. She was muttering to herself, why did I send so many disgusting messages to this bootlicker? I should block him immediately. This is so nauseating. Lin Luo ignored her, heading to the hotel's front desk instead. He not only paid for a 7-day extension on Lu Ming's room, but also instructed the staff not to allow cleaning as his friend liked peace and quiet. Meanwhile, in a skyscraper in Hang City, a strikingly handsome young man was looking at his substitute, King of Time, with a frustrated expression. Where's the white clock on you, and why is the time point you traveled back to a week later than scheduled? Substitute King of Time, a little girl dressed in a blue and white dress, timidly replied, while time traveling, part of my power was stolen by an unknown entity. This caused a deviation in the time point. The young man angrily retorted, I paid such a huge price, and still, something went wrong. This young man, named Yu Taijia, awakened an SSS tier talent for time travel as soon as the era of universal awakening began. Relying on this talent, he ascended the ranks to become one of the guardian gods. Alone, he ventured into the cracks of time-space, where he encountered an opponent that made him lose all hope. Tried without logic. In the end, he exerted all his strength to activate time travel, not hesitating to reduce the energy limit of the King of Time from 400 to 40, just to escape and time travel back. Unfortunately, instead of going back to a week before the awakening, he arrived only a few hours after the awakening and even lost some of King of Time's power related to the second hand. Suddenly, King of Time closed her eyes and sensed something, then spoke with a hint of joy. Master, I can feel the power of the second hand. It seems to be with someone in Hang City. Yu Taijia asked in surprise, why would your power end up on someone else? After pondering for a moment, King of Time replied, it appears to have been forcibly taken by that individual. Yu Taijia looked serious. If he could take your power during time travel, he must be extraordinarily strong. Since you're not skilled in combat, let's not rush to find him. Let's focus on clearing some dungeons and reconnecting with our old teammates for now. We can settle the score with this thief later. Meanwhile, near a hotel at an intersection, an entrance to a dungeon measuring 10 meters in length and width slowly rotated. The government had issued an official notice warning people to exercise extreme caution when entering dungeons, advising teams of at least 5 people. Many curious bystanders had gathered around, some even taking pictures. Although everyone expressed strong interest in the dungeon, no one dared to be the first to enter. Just then, Lin Luo emerged from the crowd and walked toward the dungeon entrance, immediately causing a commotion among the spectators. With a familiar look at the dungeon, Lin Luo smiled. In my previous life, I was hesitant to enter this dungeon. In this life, I will conquer it. As soon as he entered the dungeon, a prompt sounded in Lin Luo's ears. Your body is being backed up as data. Any injuries you sustain in the dungeon will be fully healed upon exiting. If you die within the dungeon, you'll be resurrected and sent out. After 3 deaths, you will no longer be resurrected. Please choose one of the following 6 basic professions. In his previous life, Lin Luo had chosen the straightforward profession of a warrior, but now, with 2 S-tier talents and substitute, he naturally wanted to switch to a profession that suited him better. With that in mind, he summoned Master of Wishes and asked for recommendations on these professions. After a long contemplation, Master of Wishes recommended the mage profession to Lin Luo. He explained that with a 95% probability, Lin Luo could advance to the hidden profession of prophet mage at level 20 if he used the S-tier talent book of wishes as a guide. Also, since Lin Luo had the protection of Dark Emperor, the mage's inherent weakness in close combat wouldn't be a concern. Intrigued, Lin Luo hadn't realized that an S-tier talent could lead to a hidden profession. After all, in his previous life, he was just an F-tier nobody. Lin Luo then asked, if I choose the mage profession and use the Plunder talent as a guide for the second promotion, what hidden profession will I get? Master of Wishes promptly replied, I don't recommend using Plunder as a guide. You'd end up as a hybrid melee mage, which would be awkward. Lin Luo wondered if it was his imagination or if Master of Wishes seemed a bit biased, always recommending himself. However, Lin Luo was clear that his core talent was Plunder, and his actions should primarily align with Dark Emperor. Given that Dark Emperor's strengths lay in power and agility, the assassin profession would be a more suitable fit. After pondering for a moment, Lin Luo asked again, if I choose assassin as the basic profession and use the S-tier talent Plunder for the second promotion, what profession will I become? A flicker of surprise crossed the eyes of Master of Wishes. You would likely become a rogue outlaw, maximizing the advantages of the Plunder talent. However, I still recommend choosing prophet mage, as the profession is more elegant and easygoing. Hearing Master of Wishes' response, Lin Luo's resolve solidified. The next moment, he directly chose the assassin profession. You have successfully become an assassin. A tribute panel is now generated. As the prompt ended, Lin Luo's attributes began to change, and he acquired a large number of assassin-exclusive skills at the same time. Swinging his novice dagger, he thought, indeed, assassin and Dark Emperor are the perfect match. At this moment, another prompt sounded. Please select your dungeon exploration team. The maximum number of team members is 5. Without hesitation, Lin Luo chose to enter alone. Dark Emperor's combat ability was already equivalent to that of a level 20 to 30 elite player. There was no need for a team. The dungeon was named Goblin's Lair, difficulties ranging from easy, normal, hard to nightmare. Filled with confidence, Lin Luo chose the highest difficulty, Nightmare. The next moment, he found himself in a dark forest, facing 50 red-eyed goblins holding clubs, ready to attack. Lin Luo summoned Dark Emperor and buffed him with Heart's Desire, 100 battles, immediately raising his critical hit rate by 20%. Dark Emperor calmly approached the incoming goblins and, at a speed indiscernible to the human eye, threw 50 consecutive punches. The goblins were instantly killed, turning into experience points for Lin Luo. He gained 2,250 experience points due to the overlevel monster kills and the effect of Heart's Desire. 100 battles, Lin Luo received a 700% experience boost for each kill, allowing him to instantly level up from level 1 to level 6. Every time Lin Luo levels up, he can get 4 free attribute points and 2 skill points. Reaching level 6 gives him a total of 20 attribute points and 10 skill points. Drawing from his experience in his past life, Lin Luo immediately chooses to allocate 16 points to agility and 4 points to strength. He puts all 10 skill points into agility-related quickness skills. His reasoning is simple. Quickness skills can reduce the consumption of stamina during movement and combat. Many people in his past life chose powerful attack skills like Shadow Hunt and Phantom Slash, only to find out that the stamina drain in dungeons was a major problem. Therefore, he knows it's best to invest in quickness skills. Lin Luo, leading Dark Emperor, makes it to the second stage of the dungeon. The monsters here are significantly higher level than before, but under the effects of Heart's Desire, 100 battles, Lin Luo still levels up to 7. They soon arrive at the final stage of the dungeon, where the Goblin Guardian, the boss, is waiting for them. Upon entering, Lin Luo sees a few goblins assaulting female human NPCs, which angers him. Dark Emperor seems to sense his host's emotions and becomes even more ferocious, instantly killing the strongest goblin next to the boss. As the lead goblin dies, all other goblins rush toward Lin Luo. Fortunately, Lin Luo is agile and dodges all attacks under the protection of Dark Emperor. Facing a swarm of goblins, Dark Emperor stands at the forefront. His attack power is overwhelming. Within 30 seconds, only the Goblin Guardian remains. Despite its intimidating roar, Dark Emperor is not deterred and defeats it with a single punch. Killing 83 goblins in the second half of the dungeon provides Lin Luo with 9,700 experience points, leveling him up to 9. The next second, hundreds of golden lights emerge from the goblins' corpses, forming an energy vortex. Lin Luo knows that the dungeon chest is about to spawn. He quickly switches Heart's Desire, 100 battles to Heart's Desire. Good luck, boosting his luck tenfold. A golden chest starts to form in front of him. You've successfully cleared the goblin's nest. Your dungeon score is 1,500 points. Congratulations on receiving a gold level epic chest. Lin Luo smiles contentedly. As he had predicted, damage and clearing time determine the basic score, while the number of players and levels can either increase or decrease the score. Based on different scores, the rating of the chest varies. Normally, even at the highest difficulty level of Nightmare, one could only get an iron chest from this low-level dungeon. However, under the effects of Heart's Desire, tier. Good luck. He jumps 8 tiers to receive an epic gold chest. The loot is extraordinarily good. Lin Luo is incredibly excited. He quickly opens the chest in front of him, and for a moment, the dazzling colors of various items blind him. The chest is full of high-level healing potions and countless pieces of equipment. What used to be coveted silver-level gear in his previous life now seems like trash. Among them, the best are 2 gold-level pieces that are suitable for an assassin. Indeed, a 10-fold increase in luck paid off. He carefully examines the attributes of a golden-level short blade, which not only offers 40 more attack points compared to bronze-level weapons of the same level, but also includes a bleeding effect. It's the perfect weapon for early-stage dungeon runs. He also picks up a golden-level light armor that not only increases the maximum health, but also reduces damage. Another excellent piece. Just then, a notification sound rings out. Game character data backed up successfully. Please name your game character. The game name will be displayed during your dungeon and secret realm explorations. A smile creeps up on Lin Luo's lips. Let's call it Dark Emperor, he decides. Global announcement. Congratulations to player Dark Emperor for becoming the first person in the world to clear a nightmare level dungeon solo. Reward, 1 10-pole ticket for the Wheel of Destiny. The world erupts in chatter. Everyone is discussing who this Dark Emperor is and what Wheel of Destiny means. Meanwhile, Yutaijia's face turns sour. The history he knew has changed. He distinctly remembers that in his previous life, the first nightmare level dungeon was cleared by a player named Grey Wolf late at night on this day. He quickly turns to King of Time. Are you sure time travel won't alter history? King of Time replies earnestly, Master, time travel lets the soul go back to its previous body. It absolutely will not affect history. Yutaijia strokes his chin. Then there are 2 possibilities. First, this world's Dark Emperor has taken your power and grown stronger, and then cleared the dungeon. Second, the future Dark Emperor took your power and traveled back to the present, then cleared the dungeon. King of Time asks in confusion, but my power can't increase raw strength. How did he solo the dungeon? Yutaijia looks grim. Regardless, we have to find him quickly. If his growth outpaces ours, that could be a problem. On the other side, Lin Luo has no idea about the impact his solo dungeon clear has had. He excitedly looks at his lottery ticket and quickly summons the Master of Wishes, asking for the most cost-effective way to make a wish. Wheel of Destiny's drawing qualifications are very precious, usually available only for clearing nightmare-level dungeons or the Tower of Babel's secret realm. It has 9 grades of items from F to SSS, including many rare items that cannot be found in dungeons. There are life-extending elixirs, spirit-ascending crystals that can raise talent levels, and many other powerful and functional items. Different items also have varying probabilities. The chance to get the lowest F-level item is 40%, while the highest SSS level item is only 0.01%. So even if Lin Luo can increase his luck 10-fold through Heart's Desire, good luck, it's not guaranteed he'll get an S-level item or higher. Lin Luo asks again, what about using your ability to make a wish? Master of Wishes flips through the Book of Wishes and after a moment says, acquiring 1 SSS tier item will make me sleep for 6 months. An SS tier item consumes 190 points of energy and an S tier item consumes 10 points of energy. Lin Luo falls into deep thought. Although each SSS level item holds terrifying power, the dormancy period will affect his ability to plunder talents from others. He still needs Master of Wishes to help him locate those he plans to plunder. Weighing the pros and cons, Lin Luo decides to go for an S-level item for now. Upon hearing this, Master of Wishes immediately flips through its book, releasing a burst of dazzling light. Master, your wish has been granted. Lin Luo promptly uses his 10-pole Wheel of Destiny lottery ticket. As the golden ticket dissolves into fragments of light, a giant ancient blue wheel appears before him. 10 needles in the center of the wheel start spinning wildly. Lin Luo doesn't bother to predict the outcome and yells, stop. The needles slow down and finally point in 10 different directions. Congratulations, you've won the following 10 items, the announcement says. Various colors intertwine, and to Lin Luo's surprise, he draws an SS level extreme crystal. Among them, bond crystals can increase a substitute's range of movement away from the host. Extreme crystals can increase a substitute's energy cap. Rage crystals can temporarily boost a substitute's abilities. The same type of crystal also has different grades. For instance, from this 10-pole, he got 2 reality crystals, 1 D level and 1 F level. Their effects allow him to carry back 3% and 1% of his attributes from the game to reality, respectively. Without hesitation, Lin Luo crushes the 2 reality crystals in his hand. Congratulations! After you exit the dungeon, you will inherit 4% of your in-game attributes, the announcement says. Lin Luo immediately has Dark Emperor crush 2 bomb crystals, which now allows Dark Emperor to move freely within a 6-meter radius around him. A B-level Spirit Ascending Crystal helps Lin Luo improve his talent growth by 5 points. Finally, he's left with an A-level Energy Heart and an SS-level Extreme Crystal. The Energy Heart can improve a substitute's energy recovery speed, while the Extreme Crystal can increase a substitute's energy cap. Lin Luo holds the 2 crystals in front of Master of Wishes and muses, which substitute should should I use these 2 crystals on? Master of Wishes seems to sense Lin Luo's hesitation and directly suggests, Great Master, I recommend you use these 2 crystals on me first. This way, it will increase the limit of your wishes. And if you continue to use the Wheel of Destiny in the future, you won't have to worry about energy issues. Lin Luo laughs at the suggestion, clearly pleased. That's exactly what I need right now. Alright, I'll give both crystals to you. He tosses the crystals over, and Master of Wishes immediately crushes them. After absorbing the crystals, the energy cap of Master of Wishes, an S-level substitute, breaks through to 300 points, and its energy recovery speed also doubles. Lin Luo pockets the remaining life extension pills and rage crystals and exits the dungeon. Unfortunately, without a space crystal, he can't take out the equipment he's wearing. The entrance to the dungeon is now crowded with people continuously entering. Lin Luo blends into the crowd and quickly leaves. He plans to head to the Tower of Babel, which exists in every city. He aims to once again seize a global first clear achievement. The Tower of Babel is about 100 meters tall and has a metallic blue hue. It takes him half an hour to arrive near the tower, where a crowd has already gathered. Just then, a beautiful woman walks up to invite Lin Luo to join her team. Although tempted, Lin Luo declines, thinking, women will only slow down my clearance speed. He squeezes through the crowd and quickly enters the tower alone. A group of gnoll-like creatures bearing their fangs rush towards him. Dark Emperor appears in a flash, and in less than 2 seconds, all the creatures are vanquished by a flurry of punches. You have cleared the first level of the Tower of Babel. Clear time, 20 seconds. First clear reward, 5 fragments of destiny. Congratulations, you've set a new world record for the first level of the Tower of Babel. Your game name, Dark Emperor, will be spread among global players. Lin Luo proceeds up the staircase to the second level of the Tower of Babel. The monsters are still gnolls, but are somewhat stronger, though they are all instantly killed by Dark Emperor. He quickly reaches the end of the second level. You've cleared the second level of the Tower of Babel. Clear time, 30 seconds. Lin Luo races through the successive layers of the tower like lightning. Meanwhile, outside the Tower of Babel, a frenzy erupts. The world is paying attention to the records of who's clearing how many layers of the Tower of Babel and in what time. People can't help but exclaim, this Dark Emperor is too incredible, isn't he? Lin Luo is unaware that he has once again caught the world's attention. At this moment, he is at the entrance of the Tower of Babel's 10th floor. Upon entering this level, one can only exit upon clearing it or dying. Lin Luo, fully aware of this, enters without any hesitation. In his previous life, the first player globally to clear the Tower of Babel's 10th floor was someone named Worthless Pig. Lin Luo decides not only to snatch the global first clear achievement for the 10th floor, but also to take the 20th floor achievement as well. Inside the 10th floor, there's a single gnoll covered in heavy armor 4 times the size of a regular person. Upon seeing Lin Luo, the creature slowly stands up and charges at him, wielding a large cleaver. This gnoll boss is evidently much more formidable than the previous Goblin Guardians. Dark Emperor directly confronts him, while Lin Luo stays behind his substitute. The gnoll leader clearly senses Dark Emperor's threat and attacks him. Not bothering to defend, Dark Emperor goes toe-to-toe with the gnoll, who gradually becomes overwhelmed. Suddenly, the gnoll emits a pulse of energy, momentarily repelling Dark Emperor. Now enraged, the gnoll exudes red steam and his eyes turn red as well. It then splits its cleaver into 2 and lunges at Dark Emperor again. Dark Emperor, extremely agile, dodges the fatal strike and lands a punch on the gnoll's head, causing it to fall to the ground with a scream. Global announcement, congratulations, player Dark Emperor, for becoming the first to clear the 10th floor of the Tower of Babel. Reward, 110 draw Wheel of Destiny ticket. This global notice captures the attention of the entire world. After the announcement, a mysterious stele shows a warning when the first player to undergo a second job advancement reaches level 20 on Blue Planet. Mouse level disasters will occur in various places around the world in reality. Countless scientists in a coalition of 5 major powers begin debating what mouse level disasters mean. Could it be that Dungeon and Tower of Babel creatures will appear in reality? They even start looking for this player named Dark Emperor. Meanwhile, Lin Luo is excitedly staring at the Wheel of Destiny in front of him. Once again, he makes a wish to Master of Wishes, hoping to draw something good. As the pointer comes to a halt, a notification sound rings in his ears. Congratulations, you've won the following 10 items. His luck isn't as good this time, receiving only 1 S-level item, Spatial Crystal. However, this already makes Lin Luo very satisfied. After all, the S-level Spatial Crystal allows him to take many items back to the real world. Lin Luo first crushes the D-level Reality Crystal, boosting the attributes he can bring back to the real world to 7%. He then gives all his C-level and B-level Mana Crystals, as well as the C-level Life Crystal, to Dark Emperor. The remaining crystals are ones he can't use for now. He still has 2 Wheel of Destiny draw tickets left. Rewards from clearing nightmare level dungeons and Tower of Babel. He plans to wait until he accumulates 10 to make it more worth his while. He also needs to accumulate more fragments of fate to exchange for items in the shop. Next, he plans to sell all the equipment he isn't using. After all, the sooner he sells them, the more valuable they are. In this game, in-game currency can be exchanged for real-world money, with one copper coin worth around 5 to 6 US dollars. Equipment is even more expensive. A single piece of black iron level equipment costs hundreds of gold coins. No sooner had Lin Luo listed those few items for sale than they were bought, netting him a total of 8,400 gold coins. Considering that one gold coin can be exchanged for 5 to 600 US dollars, that's equivalent to around $5 million. He smacks his forehead in slight regret. I really underestimated how many wealthy people there are worldwide. He should have listed items one by one for a better price, but he doesn't regret it now. After all, grinding for equipment is now very easy for him. He plans to reach level 20 in the Tower of Babel tonight. By tomorrow, when he exits the tower, the cooldown for his Plunder talent should be over. He can then acquire another S-level talent. He remembers that after the advent of the Chaotic Era, there were 3 infamous guilds: Smiling Coffin, Tomb of Nazareth, and 8-Headed Assembly. One of the 8 leaders of 8-Headed Assembly, Rainy Knight with a knife, but no umbrella, whose real name is Bai Hong Lai, and the Bloody Witch and Wrath of the Glacier from Tomb of Nazareth, named Ji Weining and Lu Jianing respectively, are all S-level talent holders based in Hang City. They are Lin Luo's targets for plundering. After taking them down, Lin Luo plans to head to the City of Sin. The people who caused the deaths of him and his brother in his previous life were likely hired freelancers. Once he's taken care of these important matters, he plans to find out who's behind them. Meanwhile, in an office, Xing is posting job ads online. He's registered a legitimate company in Hang City called Brilliant Media. He'll hire people to work for a period, and then take them on a team-building overseas trip that will actually end up in the City of Sin, where he plans to take them all down. The company has already hired more than 40 people. A few more and they can close the net. At this moment, Lin Luo has reached the 11th floor of the Tower of Babel, which is full of skeletal and undead-type monsters. In the Tower of Babel, only fragments of fate are acquired in the first 10 floors, but from the 10th floor onwards, you can directly get equipment. Lin Luo feels somewhat nostalgic about this place. In his previous life, he and his brother had spent a lot of time here grinding for a skeletal armor set. Putting aside his nostalgia, Lin Luo immediately issues an attack command. The brave Dark Emperor charges into the crowd of skeletons, obliterating many skeletal soldiers with his flurry of punches. At this moment, a level 17 skeleton commander quietly moves behind Lin Luo. Lin Luo smiles lightly, feeling underestimated. With a flourish of his short blade, he turns around and pierces through the core of the skeleton commander. A system prompt then rings out, announcing that he has cleared the 11th floor of the Tower of Babel in 1 minute and 35 seconds, earning him 85 fragments of fate as a first-time clear reward. With 3 years of combat experience from his past life, these lower-level monsters pose no threat to Lin Luo. 8 minutes later, he arrives at the 20th floor. The boss guarding this level is a level 20 skeleton lord named Tadamir. Drawing its great sword, Tadamir uses the skill Netherworld Summon. Awaken, my minions. Return from hell to fight for me. The next moment, countless skeletons of various levels crawl out from the ground. Lin Luo's eyes flash coldly. He knows that he can't rely solely on Dark Emperor for this level, as its difficulty far surpasses the previous 19 floors. At least 200 or more skeletal soldiers charge towards him, causing slight tremors in the cave floor. Dark Emperor takes the lead, smashing the charging skeletal cavalry into pieces with his punches. He then quickly engages the skeleton lord Tadamir in combat. The two are evenly matched. Meanwhile, hundreds of skeletal soldiers have bypassed the main battlefield to encircle Lin Luo. He adopts a combat stance. Though he has rich combat experience, the number of enemies is just too overwhelming. While he can eventually win, it would likely be a Pyrrhic victory. Left with no other choice, Lin Luo summons the Master of Wishes. With a roar, Lin Luo exclaims, "I wish for Dark Emperor's attacks to result in critical hits until he has completely slain Skeleton Lord Tadamir." The Master of Wishes quickly flips through the Book of Wishes, its pages shimmering with dazzling light. Moments later, the respectful voice of Master of Wishes rings out, "Great Master, your wish has been granted." Dark Emperor suddenly feels a surge of frenzied energy coursing through his body. He roars and charges back at the Skeleton Lord. Meanwhile, Lin Luo takes advantage of his agility to weave through the skeletal soldiers. The ground suddenly trembles again. It's the Skeleton Lord unleashing his ultimate move, Shatter Greatsword. Unfortunately for him, the move is too slow and is easily dodged by Dark Emperor, who is airborne. What's more, after executing the ultimate move, the Skeleton Lord clearly enters a stagnant state. Although the time is short, it is a fatal weakness for him. Dark Emperor goes full throttle, pounding his fists mercilessly onto the helmet of the Skeleton Lord. Each punch deals a critical damage of 580 points. At that moment, damage numbers skyrocket. The Skeleton Lord is instantly killed by this concentrated attack. Lin Luo also successfully wipes out all the remaining skeletal soldiers. You have cleared the 20th floor of the Tower of Babel. Time taken, 3 minutes 11 seconds. First time clear reward, 100 fragments of fate. A global announcement is made. Congratulations. Congratulations to player Dark Emperor for becoming the first person globally to clear the 20th floor of Tower of Babel alone. Reward: 110 Spin Wheel of Destiny ticket. Lin Luo decides not to use the reward ticket for now, but to lead Dark Emperor further into the tower. Relying on the memories and experience from his past life, he quickly clears up to the 29th floor. At this point, Lin Luo also reaches level 15. A system warning advises him that his level is too low, and it would be best not to enter the 30th floor. Hearing the warning, Lin Luo lets out a cold laugh. He commands Dark Emperor to kick open the door. What appears before them is the Minotaur King, Manhwa. It looks disdainfully at the entering Lin Luo, saying, "Foolish human, do you know what you are about to face?" Lin Luo doesn't waste time talking to the Minotaur King. He immediately directs Dark Emperor to charge. Seeing this, the Minotaur King swings down his hammer fiercely. According to Lin Luo's memories from his past life, floors 21 to 29 cannot be rushed through, as the monsters that players avoided will be summoned by the Minotaur King as reinforcements. Of course, Lin Luo has already thought of countermeasures, so he dared to push forward quickly. The Minotaur King, realizing he can't hit Dark Emperor, uses his skill Earth Shatter, causing numerous cracks to appear on the ground. Lin Luo, sensing the timing is right, calls forth the Master of Wishes and again wishes for Dark Emperor's attacks to always critically strike. After using his skill, the Minotaur King falls into a brief state of weakness. Dark Emperor seizes the opportunity to unleash a furious assault, each rapid punch dealing 450 critical damage. The Minotaur King's health quickly depletes. Seeing he's losing, the Minotaur King uses his ultimate skill, King's Command, calling out, "My warriors, heed my command, come protect your king." A glint appears in Lin Luo's eyes. He knows the time is right. He activates a skill that Dark Emperor has never used before, Seize by Force. System prompts indicate that Dark Emperor successfully steals the skill Earth Shatter, 1,200 health points, the skill King's Command, and 23 agility points from the Minotaur King. With the system's prompt, the Minotaur King falls unwillingly, and the stolen power pours into Lin Luo, directly leveling him up 3 times to reach level 18. Just then, the Minotaur warriors summoned by the Minotaur King also arrive at the 30th floor. Lin Luo sees this and immediately uses the King's Command skill. He wants to test how useful this stolen skill really is. All the Minotaurs suddenly start trembling, and their eyes turn dull. The next moment, they kneel before Lin Luo. Meanwhile, in a dungeon outside Hang City, a young man reveals a huge golden eye behind him, the SS tier talent Emperor's Eye. With a light command, both the boss, Mushroom King, and his teammates obediently kneel before him. Just then, Utaijia walks up from behind and says, "As expected of the SS tier talent Emperor's Eye, I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Hui Tailang." The young man's face changes. "Who are you? Why aren't you affected by my Emperor's Eye?" Utaijia smiles faintly. "I'm Utaijia, a person who exists outside of time." Hui Tailang remains cautious. "Why are you looking for me?" Utaijia grabs his wrist. "Because I need your help. You're the only one who can make monsters kneel." Meanwhile, inside the Tower of Babel, countless Minotaurs respectfully kneeled before Lin Luo, shouting, "Great King." Dark Emperor uses the recently acquired skill Earth Shatter, instantly killing all the Minotaurs. The massive experience points gained level Lin Luo up to level 22. Congratulations to player Dark Emperor for being the first solo player to clear the 30th floor of the Tower of Babel. Amidst everyone's astonishment, Lin Luo quickly pushes through the crowd and leaves the Tower of Babel. Having leveled up to 20, he's now eligible for his second-class advancement. Exhausted from the day, Lin Luo arrives at a noodle shop. Clearing 30 floors has drained him, and he needs a full meal before going for the assassin second-class advancement mission. Just then, a commotion catches his attention. It's his former colleagues, led by Zhang Wei, who used to be close with him superficially. The girl kneeling on the ground, begging, is in turn Qin Kellen. Ignoring her pleas, Zhang Wei kicks her to the ground. Listening to their conversation, Lin Luo learns that one of the colleagues died in the Tower of Babel due to Qin Kellen's mistake. But as the only healer in the team, she won't be abandoned so easily, though her situation is obviously dire. Lin Luo has no intention of intervening. In his past life, this girl, like others, mocked him. Relationships have changed now that circumstances have altered. Qin Kellen is dragged back like a toy to continue healing the team. Zhang Wei and others are discussing plans for the Tower of Babel's second floor. Suddenly, Zhang Wei spots Lin Luo and quickly grabs a dish to walk over. Placing the dish on Lin Luo's table, he embraces Lin Luo and feigns warmth. "Old colleague, where have you been since you got fired? I missed you. What talent have you awakened? Let me help you make big money. Otherwise, how can you be worthy of when you see?" Lin Luo gazes at Zhang Wei coldly. In his past life, when he was released from detention, Zhang Wei was the first to approach him with the same questions. Without much thought then, he had revealed his talent, only for Zhang Wei to turn around and humiliate him along with others. Recalling this, Lin Luo stands up to leave, stating that he doesn't team up. Hearing this, Zhang Wei bursts into laughter. "Do you, a poor kid, think you're some big shot like Dark Emperor?" Just then, Qin Kellen quickly runs over and clings to Lin Luo's leg, pleading for him to take her away, saying she would agree to any conditions. Her face flushed. She grabs Lin Luo's hand passionately. "Brother Luo, Luo, please take me away. Lin Luo, visibly disgusted, shakes her off. Find someone else. I can't help you. Zhang Wei, furious, approaches Qin Kellen. You slut, flirting with whoever you see. Ha, does Lin Luo even have the power to save you? He grabs her hair and violently pulls, eliciting screams from her. Two others join in the mockery. What makes her think Lin Luo has such high talents? I think I'm even better. Those two brothers are just petty thieves under the One family's charity. Zhang Wei continues to torment the girl, smirking. Had I known the One family had a soft spot for thieves, I'd have gone there to steal something too, maybe even spark some romance with Wen Yusi. Hearing this, Lin Luo's expression darkens. I'd advise you not to mention that name. Zhang Wei taunts. What name? You delusional frog, wanting to eat swan meat? Lin Luo clenches his fists, struggling to control his anger. However, Zhang Wei has no plans to let him off easily and signals two people from their small team to teach Lin Luo a lesson, telling him about the rule of the fist. The two, menacingly smirking, ready their attributes carried over from the dungeon. This is perfect for testing our skills. They charge towards Lin Luo, fists swinging, loudly yelling, kneel and call us dad if you don't want to die. Lin Luo, watching the incoming fists, has no intention of dodging. Their speed is too slow for him. Effortlessly raising his arms, he sends them flying. Having lived two lives, he understands far better than they do what the rule of the fist means. Zhang Wei didn't expect his two comrades to be so useless, defeated with just a single blow. Furious, he draws a dagger and lunges at Lin Luo. Lin Luo counters with a devastating kick, sending him flying. The two who had just picked themselves up look at the flying Zhang Wei, their eyes filling with fear. They exchange a glance, as if making a decision. The next moment, they kneel in front of Lin Luo. Master Luo, please accept our loyalty. Do you have a spot in your team? Lin Luo coldly responds. I told you already, I don't team up. The two kowtow and beg again. A young man on the second floor of the noodle shop is observing him. The man is one of his plunder targets, one of the 8 leaders of the 8-headed assembly. By Honglai, Lin Luo ignores everyone and plans to leave. Qin Kellen watches him admiringly. This is the man I can rely on. She grabs Lin Luo's hand, apologizes loudly for past insults, and promises to make it up to him tenfold, even rubbing his hand against her smooth face. Annoyed, Lin Luo pulls his hand back and leaves without hesitation. Qin Kellen stares at Lin Luo's retreating figure, vowing to make him pay double for today's humiliation. The two kneeling men mock her. Who do you think you can seduce? Luo's heart is set on Wen Yusi, so save it. Qin Kellen drops the act and screams. How am I inferior to Wen Yusi? You aren't even fit to carry our shoes. Suddenly, they sense energy emanating from her. Weaklings, Lin Luo is gone, and you have no protection, they say, trying to stand, but they find themselves weakened and trembling, having been harshly beaten and kneeling for so long. Seeing this, Qin Kellen seizes the opportunity. Everything you gave me before, I'll give it all back now. She slaps them until they're unrecognizable. Bai Honglai finds the girl downstairs interesting and orders his subordinates to recruit her into the 8-headed assembly. The guild had been lamenting the lack of female players, and maybe they could gather some intel on Lin Luo from her. Qin Kellen stands satisfied, stepping on the two men. Sooner or later, I'll also step on Lin Luo. Just then, 8-headed assembly Xiao Gang quietly appears behind her. Miss, have you heard of our 8-headed assembly? Would you like to join? Knowing their reputation, she doesn't hesitate and signs an agreement, mocking Lin Luo for his lack of judgment. Who's this Lin Luo you mentioned? Xiao Gang asks. Seizing the opportunity, a resentful Qin Kellen says. That's the guy who just left. He was a former colleague and deceived me emotionally. Xiao Gang subtly pulls her closer. Does he have any weaknesses? Maybe I can help you get revenge later. Filled with hatred, she reveals. His weakness is a woman named Wen Yusi. On the other side, Lin Luo walks leisurely on his way to the Class Advancement Guild. Not far behind him, a scout from the 8-headed assembly is reporting his every move. Although Lin Luo has long sensed the scout, he refrains from exposing him, unsure of his affiliation. At this moment, the voice on the other end of the spy's phone tells the spy that Lin Luo has a weak spot named Wen Yusi. The voice instructs the spy to confirm Lin Luo's movements first and then investigate this woman. After saying this, the spy immediately follows closely behind Lin Luo. Suddenly, to his astonishment, Lin Luo turns around and heads in his direction. Lin Luo wants to find out who's behind the stalking. The scout's anxiety peaks as he tries to maintain his composure, passing Lin Luo and hastily leaving, but then a towering figure blocks his path. Dark Emperor punches the scout, sending him flying. Lin Luo's face turns sinister. Speak, who sent you? The scout tries to explain. I'm just a passerby. You must have mistaken me for someone else. Why would you attack me without reason? Lin Luo grabs his ear and closely inspects an earring. Ah, so you're from the 8-headed assembly. This immediately puts Lin Luo on high alert. According to the timeline from his past life, the 8-headed assembly shouldn't appear in front of him this early. Lin Luo grabs the scout's face again. I'll give you another chance. Speak your purpose. Seeing the scout still playing dumb, Lin Luo realizes that more extreme measures are needed. The 8-headed assembly scouts are known for their resilience under questioning, and continuing the interrogation would be a waste of time. He summons the Master of Wishes, wishing for the scout to reveal his intentions. The scout's eyes go vacant, and he begins to speak. My name is Sun Lan. Wang. I am a loyal subordinate to Bai Honglai, one of the leaders of the Eight-Headed Assembly. We recruited a beautiful woman at the noodle shop. She gave us information about a strong individual named Lin Luo. I was ordered to track Lin Luo and also to investigate a woman named Wen Yusi. This Wen Yusi is Lin Luo's weak point. Our leader plans to use her to threaten Lin Luo into becoming a loyal subordinate of the Eight-Headed Assembly. A cold glint appears in Lin Luo's eyes. He never expected that the Eight-Headed Assembly would have recruited Qin Kellen and that this woman would be so ruthless. In the third year of the disaster in his previous life, when Yusi had been killed by Bai Honglai, in order to avenge her, Lin Luo had risked his life in various adventures to enhance his skills, only to be schemed against and die at the hands of monsters. Now, it seems he must eliminate Bai Honglai before the Eight-Headed Assembly locates Wen Yusi. But first, he needs to complete his second job transfer, which will give him the confidence to kill Bai Honglai. After having Dark Emperor dispose of the scout's body, Lin Luo summons Master of Wishes. He wonders how long he can guarantee Wen Yusi's safety if he makes such a wish. The Master of Wishes respectfully responds, "Master, with my current capabilities, I can ensure her safety for 24 hours at most." Lin Luo considers for a moment. 24 hours should be enough for him to complete his second job transfer. He then makes the wish and heads toward the Assassin's Guild. Relying on his memories from his previous life, Lin Luo quickly locates the guild, a massive silver prism. Upon his arrival, he rushes in. A change in lighting and scenery later, he finds himself in a European-styled room. An elegant middle-aged man is delicately sipping tea. "Ah, a traveler from afar. Are you here to seek higher-level secrets?" Lin Luo knows that this is Desmond, the second-class advancement instructor, and respectfully responds, "Yes, instructor, please guide me." With a wave of Desmond's hand, the door behind Lin Luo bursts open, letting in the howling winds and snow. "Go to the snowy forest and kill 30 black snowmen and 1 penguin king. Bring me their identifying features, the snowman's horns, and the penguin king's beak." Lin Luo steps out through the wooden door into an icy tundra. The chill is intense, likely to affect combat. Suddenly, he hears a noise behind him. Turning, he finds a huge black snowman who seemingly appeared out of nowhere. A massive fist comes crashing down toward him. Dark Emperor, hiding nearby, leaps out to intercept the blow. Lin Luo didn't expect that the monsters in this second-class advancement secret realm would resort to ambushes. He notices a blue crystal horn on top of the black snowman's head, which must be the quest item. He orders Dark Emperor to go all out and eliminates the black snowman with a single punch. The snowman's body gradually melts, leaving only the horn stuck in the snow. Lin Luo picks up the quest item, but then the ground around him starts to tremble. From the distance comes the sound of heavy running. Soon, he's surrounded by a multitude of giant black snowmen. Lin Luo is not panicked. Instead, he draws a short blade. He knows that the real battle has just begun. The black snowmen are not fast movers. Focusing their attacks, Lin Luo and Dark Emperor quickly dispatch them. The black snowmen can't withstand the combined assault and are instantly killed, turning into horns. The second black snowman charges in with a roar, but before it can react, both its arms are severed by the combined efforts of Lin Luo and Dark Emperor. Lin Luo, with the aid of Dark Emperor, leaps high into the air and cleaves it in half. He then activates his skill, Earth Shatter, causing the ground to break apart and stunning the other black snowmen. Lin Luo shouts, instructing Dark Emperor to quickly finish them off. Dark Emperor rushes into the crowd of snowmen with a dance of fury, punching holes through their bodies. The stunned black snowmen offer no resistance and quickly fall one by one to Dark Emperor's fists. By now, Lin Luo has collected 37 horns, more than enough for his class advancement task. However, he notices that the number of black snowmen seems to be endlessly increasing, which strikes him as very odd. Unseen by him, a small penguin wearing a golden crown is leisurely sipping red wine. It is the one directing the black snowmen to continuously attack Lin Luo. With a soft command from the Penguin King, spirits fly out of the snowman corpses. When Lin Luo tries to catch them, they slip through his fingers like water and quickly fly toward the mountain top. All the spirits gather in the hands of the Penguin King, only to return along their original path. Confused, Lin Luo watches as the spirits re-enter the snowman corpses, and the previously defeated black snowmen roar back to life. Realizing why there seem to be endless waves of them, Lin Luo skillfully evades their attacks and leads Dark Emperor quickly toward the mountain top. Sensing the impending danger, the Penguin King uses its special skill, King's Call. The surrounding black snowmen suddenly become frenzied, speeding up their pursuit of Lin Luo. Dark Emperor picks up Lin Luo and speeds up toward the mountain top, then throws him forward. Lin Luo raises his short blade and splits the Penguin King in half, acquiring the last quest item, the Penguin King's beak. With the death of the Penguin King, all the black snowmen begin to melt away. Braving the snowstorm, Lin Luo returns to the wooden hut. Seeing him return, Desmond's face immediately shows an expression of admiration. "Young man, your strength has earned my recognition. I can sense a huge potential within you." The three 3 standard second-tier assassin classes I have to offer might not be the limit of your potential. Are you willing to seek your own path? Lin Luo realizes that this is probably the hidden class Master of Wishes had mentioned. He immediately says he's very willing to pursue it. Desmond stands up, his eyes serious as he explains that beyond the standard second-tier classes, there are countless hidden ones. However, the risk of failure in transitioning to these classes could be life-threatening. Lin Luo knows that the second-class advancement is extremely crucial, and he's willing to take any risk. Seeing Lin Luo's determination, Desmond bursts into laughter, increasingly admiring the young man. He begins to wave his hands, saying that since Lin Luo is prepared to push his limits, he will guide his spirit into the void. The class to which he advances will depend on his own choice. He warns him not to linger in the void for too long out of greed for power, or he will be lost forever. Suddenly, a mysterious force enters Lin Luo's mind, taking his consciousness into an unknown void where he loses all senses for a long time. Gradually, his vision restores, and he sees an endless void. Suddenly, a red pillar of light appears in front of him, followed by several other pillars of different colors. When he extends his hand into the red pillar, information pops up. Job, lawless outlaw, exclusive skills, lawlessness, light and shadow interplay. This is the hidden job Master of Wishes had recommended. Then, he puts his hand into a blue pillar. Job, Shadowman, exclusive skills, shadow clone, shadow stitching, and shadow curse. The attributes and skills of a Shadowman job are significantly better than those of the lawless outlaw. Realizing that the colors of the pillars indicate the quality of the jobs, Lin Luo turns his attention to a golden pillar. Inserting his hand, a massive window appears. Legendary job, Storm Swordsman, exclusive skills, Sonic Sword Breath, Gale Blade, and Infinite Sword Energy. Lin Luo was shocked. This level of job is exceedingly rare. He hadn't even heard of legendary jobs in his past life. If he could transition to this, dealing with an evil organization like the Eight-Headed Assembly would be easy. Suddenly, Lin Luo has a thought. Why did Master of Wishes conceal this job from me? He immediately summons Master of Wishes, asking sharply why he was deceived. Master of Wishes quickly explains that he wouldn't dare to deceive him. Choosing the lawless outlaw was the safest decision based on his comprehensive assessment. The data shows that Lin Luo's Plunder talent only has a 1% compatibility rate with the Storm Swordsman, and the success rate for the job transition is even lower, at 0.5%. Hearing this, Lin Luo calms down, acknowledging that the success rate is indeed too low. Master of Wishes continues, saying that the Shadowman job has a talent compatibility of 22% and a success rate of 9%, which, although much higher than Storm Swordsman, is still highly risky. Curious, Lin Luo asks for the data on the lawless outlaw. Master of Wishes shows him the data, a talent compatibility of 89% and a staggering job transition success rate of 98%. Seeing this, Lin Luo realizes he misunderstood Master of Wishes. Your assessment was correct for the safest choice, but who says I want to make the safest choice? Since I'm here, I'm going for the highest reward. Master of Wishes is left speechless, not knowing how to respond. Lin Luo pats him on the shoulder. From now on, just inform me of the pros and cons of each choice. Don't make decisions for me, understand? He then turns towards the golden pillar. Before stepping in, he asks Master of Wishes one more question. If the talent compatibility is only 1%, does that mean that, if successful, I would have 100% of this job's power? Master of Wishes confirms, yes, if you succeed, you'll have 100% of its power, but if you fail, the best case scenario is you'll suffer from mental fatigue for 20 days. Worst case, you could lose your life. Lin Luo's expression turns cold. 20 days of mental fatigue is essentially the same as being dead to me. I'd fall so far behind others, and most importantly, I won't be able to save Sister One within 24 hours. He smiles confidently. Master of Wishes, you might be smart, but did you forget yourself when calculating success rates? I wish for a successful transition to Storm Swordsman. With that, he steps into the golden pillar. The Book of Wishes in Master of Wishes' hands starts flipping pages. Moments later, he says respectfully, Honorable Master, your wish has been granted. Instantly, countless pieces of information about the Storm Swordsman flood into Lin Luo's mind. At this moment, Desmond watches Lin Luo intently. The Storm Swordsman is an ancient, legendary job that's been lost for years. Even the most potent SSS-level talent might not successfully transition. This will be interesting, he muses. Lin Luo is now in the process of inheriting the legendary job of Storm Swordsman, his mind filling up like a tidal wave with all the information related to it. To inherit the ancient legacy of Storm Swordsman, one must come infinitely close to understanding the essence of the storm. Loyal to the wind, loyal to the sword. Death always accompanies me, yet I fear it not. Control the sword with the heart and listen to the whisper of the wind. The wind is the sword, and the sword is the wind. The more the storm sword strikes, the more intense it becomes. Only by facing death can one be invincible. This is the only true warrior among assassins, the Storm Swordsman. In the beginning, with the help of Master of Wishes, Lin Luo does his best to absorb the information. However, as time passes in the void, Master of Wishes' energy is depleted, and his form gradually fades away. He needs to enter a sleep state state to slowly recover. Lin Luo is now on his own to accept the legacy. Unavoidably, his spirit weakens, and he collapses in the void, losing consciousness. The job transition to Storm Swordsman is still underway. Desmond watches Lin Luo intently. Storm Swordsman is a job of legends. I've never seen anyone succeed in this transition in my lifetime. Suddenly, Lin Luo's body slumps to the ground, eyes closed and face scrunched. This is a sign of failure in the job transition. Desmond mutters, he might be lost in the void forever. He shakes his head. Young people are always too ambitious. I hope failing this time teaches you a lesson. Usually, only those with SSS level talent can successfully transition to a legendary job. For someone with S-level talent like you, even getting a hidden job would have been an excellent achievement. Just then, a global announcement rings out. The world's first secondary job transition has occurred. Desmond smirks. What a shame. If you hadn't been so greedy and chosen a simpler job, you could have been the first. Now, someone else has beaten you to it. Lin Luo wakes up in a familiar wooden cabin and hears Desmond's words. Struggling to his feet, his eyes shine with excitement. How do you know that the world's first isn't me? A surprised Desmond asks incredulously. What do you mean? Did you actually succeed? Lin Luo remains weak, but chugs down the high-level stamina recovery potion. His condition improves significantly, recovering about 80% of his stamina and spirit. Desmond is speechless. This is unbelievable. How did you do it? Can you share your talent with me? I promise to keep it a secret. Lin Luo doesn't answer. Instead, he asks curiously, aren't you feeling hot, instructor? Desmond notices the dropped cigarette has ignited the carpet and the fire has reached his crotch. With a yelp, he jumps up to extinguish the fire. Lin Luo takes this opportunity to leave the cabin. He has much to do and no time to waste. Once out of the Assassin's League, he realizes it's already night. His job transition took a full 5 hours. He checks his phone and sees 4 unread messages from Chin Kellen, inviting him to lunch tomorrow at a specific restaurant. Using the rescue as a pretext, Lin Luo knows too well it's not out of kindness. It must be a trap set by the 8-headed assembly. However, he's also on the hunt for Bai Honglai. An opportunity like this, coming right to his door, is one he won't refuse. At this moment, Bai Honglai is discussing the meaning of life with Chin Kellen. Suddenly, the ring of a phone interrupts their intimate conversation. After reading the message, Bai Honglai becomes extraordinarily excited. He didn't expect that Lin Luo would actually agree, although the time and location were changed. For him, these are not major issues. Ignoring the disapproving look from Chin Kellen, he quickly gets dressed and plans to head to the agreed-upon location. Chin Kellen's resentment towards Lin Luo deepens, always spoiling her plans. What no one knows is, at the moment the announcement of the first second-tier job transfer rang out globally, a new message appeared on the mysterious stone tablet. When Blue Planet's first second-tier job holder emerges, a mouse-level disaster will occur 24 hours later in the real world. Scientists responsible for the stone tablet on Blue Planet all change color and immediately send this message to the desks of the high authorities in the 5 major countries. Everyone is guessing what this mouse-level disaster actually is. After intense discussions, an announcement is released by the 5 major powers on Blue Planet. Everyone is to cease all outdoor activities 24 hours later. A global curfew is enforced, and everyone should stay at home awaiting further notice. At this time, Lin Luo, who is waiting by the sea for Bai Honglai, is unaware that his job transfer has caused such a huge impact. He also receives the official announcement. Of course, he knows why the curfew is enforced, but in his memory, the first global mouse-level disaster should occur 5 days later. Why has it advanced so much this time? The first wave of mouse-level disaster in his previous life was an interdimensional insect disaster. The levels of the monsters ranged mostly from 1 to 20. This insect disaster was an opportunity for the awakened, because killing insects grants 4 times the experience points. Several large guilds rose to prominence after this insect disaster. However, for ordinary people and those with low talent levels, this insect disaster was lethal, lasting a full 15 days. From then on, social order collapsed, and the world entered an era of chaos. In my previous life, I couldn't protect those who had protected me. I was always a burden to them. This life, I finally have the ability to protect them. I had a very confused childhood. Every time I was bullied, it was Sister One who stood up for me. She truly taught me a lot. My brother did indeed steal from my own family, but after they found out our circumstances, they not only held no grudges, but also continually cared for my growth. Mr. and Mrs. One have always treated me like their son. Every important moment in my life has Sister One's figure. Those were the happiest times of my life. But when Sister One needed protection the most, I was not there by her side. The chief culprit for all this is Bai Honglai. In this life, I will kill you first, in a speeding car. Bai Honglai and 2 others are on their way to the agreed location. Suddenly, his phone rings. After glancing at the caller ID, his pupils slightly constrict. He cautiously answers the call. Immediately, the stern voice of an elder comes through the phone. Gong Tens, recently, the chosen ones among you should meet. Report your talents to Lord Gong Ben. Bai Honglai responds respectfully. It turns out that Bai Honglia's original name is Gong Tens. His family has been the secret guards of our country's royal family for generations. When our country was destroyed a year ago, he was escorting Princess Jia Zi of our country to an event and abroad. Thus, he narrowly escaped. Afterwards, he followed the surviving members of the royal family to take refuge with our country's business group in each country. A large number of our country people in each country, under the Organization of Royal Survivors, formed the Restoration Organization 8-Headed Assembly. Now that everyone is awakening, multiple S-level talents or higher have emerged in 8-Headed Assembly. Even the big shot in 8-Headed Assembly, Gong Ben, has awakened a rare SSS-level talent. This has made 8-Headed Assembly start to become restless. At this moment, Bai Honglia's hand is shaking as he takes the phone call, because the elder of the clan informed him that Princess Jia Zi and Lord Gong Ben's engagement ceremony will be held next month. They were asked to gather as much spirit ascending crystal as possible for the celebration. Bai Hongli grips his phone tightly. Princess Jia Zi has always been the woman he considers his own, but now she's getting engaged to Gong Ben, who is an SSS level talent awakener. He stands no chance against him. The only solution is to elevate his own talent to SSS level before next month's engagement. This will require a lot of spirit ascending crystals. To him, people with some ability like Lin Luo are perfect crystal miners. Thinking this, he immediately orders Qin Kellen to bring more people tomorrow to monitor Wen Yusi around the clock. As long as he controls Wen Yusi, regardless of whether Lin Luo is willing tonight, he has to work for him. Then Bai Honglai continues, I won't show up later. You'll know what to say when you meet that Lin Luo. I don't need to teach you. You're a smart girl. Bring out your best skills. Upon arriving at the agreed upon beach, Qin Kellen sees Lin Luo lounging on the sand. She is extremely confident in her beauty. Even the hall master has fallen for her. She doesn't believe she can't handle a Lin Luo. Pretending to be cheerful, Qin Kellen runs over and leaps towards Lin Luo. Lin Luo quickly moves backward with a stern face, dodging her dive. Annoyed, Qin Kellen says, Brother Luo, you hurt me. Lin Luo has no time for her act and coldly asks, where is Bai Honglai? Qin Kellen is shocked inside. How does he know the hall master's name? She then plays dumb and says, Brother Luo, what are you talking about? It's me who invited you here today. Lin Luo's eyes turn cold and he says, Bai Honglai, the hall master of your 8-Headed Assembly. Dodging his gaze, Qin Kellen responds, I did join the 8-Headed Assembly, but I haven't met the hall master. I've only heard his name. Seeing the situation, Lin Luo stops wasting time with her, snatches her phone, and starts looking for Bai Honglia's number. Qin Kellen hastily follows him and continues to explain, I really haven't met any Bai Honglai, but the reason I invited you here is indeed to invite you to join 8-Headed Assembly. It's a good backing. If you join, all the resources, connections, money, and even myself will be yours. You can have anything you want. Bai Honglai, who has been waiting for a message, sees Qin Kellen calling and hurriedly asks, how's the situation progressing? It's been so long without any news. Lin Luo, on the other end of the phone, lets out a cold laugh. She can never give you any news again, because I've killed her. Bai Honglai feels a tightening in his chest. Are you Lin Luo? Come out. Bai Honglai, I know you're nearby. Bai Honglai looks at his disconnected phone in surprise. How does Lin Luo know about my existence? Did Qin Kellen betray me? Qin Kellen sees Lin Luo throw her phone into the sea and timidly says, so you knew all along. A moment later, Bai Honglai also arrives at the beach. You are indeed a talent that I, Bai Honglai, value. You are exceptional. Join my 8-Headed Assembly. Let me take you to accomplish great things. Lin Luo snorts coldly. Great things? Are you referring to your restoration plan? Gong tens. Bai Honglai feels like he's been struck by lightning. How do you know? Who are you? Lin Luo slowly draws his short blade. Every one of you deserves to die. Dark Emperor's figure appears directly behind him and launches a fist at Bai Honglai. The punch is indescribably fast, even displacing the air with a violent howl. Suddenly, a large black umbrella shields Bai Honglai. Dark Emperor's explosive fist rains down like a storm on the umbrella. It turns out that Bai Honglai finally reacted in the nick of time. He summoned his substitute, Lady Kagaya, to block all the attacks for him. Lady Kagaya is a young girl dressed as a maid and wearing a demon mask, carrying a large black umbrella. Although she blocked Dark Emperor's first wave of attacks, his offense was too fierce. Bai Honglai could clearly feel Lady Kagaya's energy rapidly depleting. He urgently tells Lady Kagaya to quickly retreat and not take the blows. Following his command, Lady Kagaya's figure flashes as she quickly moves backward. Dark Emperor closely follows, relentlessly launching attacks from all angles. At this moment, Lin Luo is very surprised. The opponent's substitute can actually keep up with Dark Emperor's speed, and her defense is incredibly high. Could this seemingly delicate girl be a defensive type substitute? Bai Honglai looks gloomily at Lin Luo. You can't even break my substitute's defense, and you want to kill me? Lin Luo's voice shows no emotion. My Dark Emperor might not be able to break your defense, but that doesn't mean I can't kill you. If the host dies, even the most formidable substitute is meaningless. Lin Luo knows he can't hide his power anymore. He must take down his opponent as quickly as possible. Bai Honglai also feels very urgent at this moment. Though Lady Kagaya is not injured, her energy is continuously decreasing. If he switches to another form, the chances of defeating his opponent are still high. Both parties know this battle must be settled quickly. Bai Honglai immediately orders, Lady Kagaya, switch to Rainy Night, blade form, kill him and his substitute. Lady Kagaya's umbrella suddenly folds and transforms forms into a long blade, slicing towards Dark Emperor like light and electricity. At the same time, Lin Luo makes a wish to the Master of Wishes. Dark Emperor's next punch will surely hit. The host cannot dodge. Dark Emperor quickly meets Lady Kagaya's strike without any intention of dodging, clearly planning to take the blow just to get past Lady Kagaya, and simultaneously aim a punch at Bai Honglai. Bai Honglia's pupils shrink to pinpoints. Alarms are going off in his head. He didn't expect the target to be himself. In that instant, Bai Honglai makes a bold decision. Lady Kagaya, kill Lin Luo directly. Upon receiving the command, Lady Kagaya's slender figure instantly moves past Dark Emperor and swiftly approaches Lin Luo. Time seems to slow down in this moment. Both Lady Kagaya and Dark Emperor ignore each other and attack each other's hosts. Dark Emperor's punch lands squarely on Bai Honglia's face, sending him flying through the air before tumbling several times on the ground to a halt. At the same time, Lady Kagaya fiercely swings her blade at Lin Luo, struggling to his feet. Bai Honglai sneers. How could a fist possibly outdo a long blade? Goodbye, Lin Luo. However, the next moment, Lin Luo's figure vanishes right before Lady Kagaya's eyes. The agile Lady Kagaya, comparable to Dark Emperor, shockingly swings at empty air. Bai Honglia's face changes. How is this possible? How could an ordinary person have this kind of reaction and speed? Lin Luo's figure slowly appears behind him. Having advanced to the legendary profession of stone swordsman, Lin Luo is far stronger than Bai Honglai had imagined, even without the help of a substitute. A cruel smile forms at the corner of Lin Luo's mouth. I'll admit, you're a bit different. Quick reactions, strong substitute abilities. But sadly, in this world, the strong live and the weak die. Dark Emperor flashes in front of Bai Honglai and punches him into the ground. Looking at the lifeless Bai Honglai, Lin Luo feels a sense of relief in his heart. The revenge for Sister One in his past life is finally avenged. He directly activates his S-rank talent, Plunder, targeting Bai Honglia's body. Your S-rank talent, Plunder, has been activated. Please choose one from the target's attribute value, talent effect, skill effect, or soul force to plunder. Lin Luo thinks for a moment. None of my current talents are particularly strong. What I need most now are more S-rank or above talents. The cost-benefit ratio for the other choices is too low. So, Lin Luo decides to plunder the target's talent effect. Congratulations, you have acquired the S-rank talent, Rainy Night. During rainy weather, you can shield all detection under the umbrella. At night, you can directly manipulate the weather to create a small rain area. In Rainy Night, Lady Kagaya's attack speed increases by 20%. A beautiful young woman in a maid outfit appears beside him, carrying a black umbrella on her shoulder. Her delicate face carries a respectful expression, and her short skirt reveals a pair of straight, slender legs. Her appearance is clearly different from the Lady Kagaya summoned by Bai Honglai. Even the facial features are subtly different. Then he opens her attribute panel and starts to study it carefully. Lady Kagaya has two forms. Rainy Night, umbrella form, with a 400-point boost in defense. Excess damage will only drain energy. Blocking 100 points of damage will consume 1 energy point. Rainy Night, blade form, each attack inflicts 200 points of true damage and consumes 2 energy points per second. In Rainy Night, energy consumption in blade form is reduced by 50%. Lin Luo understands now. The core of the S-rank talent, Rainy Night, is this young woman named Lady Kagaya. On its own, Rainy Night is quite weak, aside from its detection shielding effect. However, when paired with Lady Kagaya, it becomes strong. In defensive mode, not even Dark Emperor with a 20% crit bonus from Heart's Desire, 100 battles can break her defense. In attack mode, her attacks not only deal true damage, but also greatly surpass Dark Emperor's attack speed under Rainy Night. In terms of combat capabilities, Lady Kagaya is clearly stronger than Dark Emperor. Furthermore, her active range is 20 meters, and her intelligence reaches 30. She can fight autonomously, unlike Dark Emperor whose intelligence is only 1 and must be operated by him. However, Dark Emperor isn't purely a combat substitute. His true strength lies in his ability, seized by force. Lin Luo smiles and says, looking forward to working with you in the future. Lady Kagaya bows respectfully. Don't worry, Master, I will protect you. At this moment, a mist rises from Bai Honglia's body. Lin Luo remembers that killing someone has a certain chance of dropping items. The mist slowly condenses, turning into a single Wheel of Destiny draw ticket. This allows Lin Luo to complete 2 10-draw chances. He immediately summons Master of Wishes, planning to wish for an increased chance of drawing S-rank items. However, he can't find Master of Wishes anywhere. He then remembers that during his class change, Master of Wishes consumed too much energy, and just a bit that was restored was used up when killing Bai Honglai. He recalls that in the center of Martial Arts Square there's a secret realm called Sacred Forest where one can find rare items for energy recovery. It seems like it's time to make a trip there. Lady Kagaya, who shares Lin Luo's Luo's intentions, immediately asks, "Master, shall we go to the secret realm now?" Lin Luo smiles. "No, I have a more important place to go to." Meanwhile, Princess Jiazi of Country tries to call Bai Honglai, but no one answers. In her memory, she's never failed to reach Bai Honglia's phone. She suddenly has a bad feeling. At that moment, her maid informs her that it's time to meet with Lord Gongben, as arranged by the elders. Jiazi feels extremely hesitant. She can't believe that the elders want to force her to marry Gongben from the eight-headed assembly for the sake of restoring their country. She somewhat regrets seeking refuge with the clan elders after fleeing here. The year she and Bai Honglai were in Country H was the happiest year of her life. Back then, there were no Gong Tens and Princess Jiazi, just Bai Honglai and Xia Xiying. She wishes Bai Honglai could take her away from here to live a quiet life in a small city with no more ties to Country R. She doesn't want to get involved in these matters anymore. But now, she can't get through to Bai Honglia's phone. Bai Honglai, where are you now? Lady Kagaya's first battle has finally arrived. After taking down Bai Honglai, Lin Luo led Lady Kagaya to a villa area. He looked thoughtfully at the house in front of him. As one of the hall masters of the eight-headed assembly, Bai Honglia's death is bound to cause a huge uproar, with the eight-headed assembly busy tracking down the murderer. Wen Yusi should be safe for now, Lady Kagaya, standing by, curiously said. Is Wen Yusi the woman Master likes? I remember she should be called girlfriend, right? Lin Luo's face turned red. Not yet, but maybe in the future. Lady Kagaya, even more curious, asked, Master stayed here all night. Wen Yusi must be very important to Master, right? Lin Luo slowly exhaled. You're right, she is very important to me. Not just her, my brother is also very important to me. In this life, I must strive to become stronger, to protect those who are very important to me. I will never let the regrets of my previous life happen again. Let's go, Lady Kagaya. We're off to level up in Sacred Forest. There are also items there that can restore Master Wish's energy. The two arrived at the martial arts square, where two inspectors guarded the entrance to the Sacred Forest instance. The instance's level was too high, so two inspectors were specially assigned there to prevent impulsive entries. As expected, as soon as Lin Luo approached, one of them immediately warned in a serious tone, this instance is highly dangerous, requires level 30 or above, and you can't quit halfway. Don't do anything foolish. Lin Luo knew talking wouldn't get him in, so he took out his identity proof. The tall inspector looked at it skeptically and said strangely, who is Dark Emperor? I don't know him. The short, fat inspector immediately exclaimed in surprise, are you the Dark Emperor who has taken down multiple global notices in a row? Lin Luo put away his ID and said, can I go in now? The short, fat inspector glanced at Lady Kagaya beside Lin Luo and suddenly showed a knowing expression. He whispered, brother, listen to my advice. Don't lose your life just to show off with a girl. Each person can only be revived 3 times in the instance. You must cherish it. Lin Luo, with a smile, thank you for your concern. I'm truly confident, not showing off. The short, fat inspector watched Lin Luo leading Lady Kagaya into the instance, his face suddenly showing admiration. This young guy, with his thin arms and legs, doesn't look it, but he's so fierce at such a young age. It's a pity, since ancient times, heroes have struggled to overcome the beauty pass. Once inside the instance, Lady Kagaya was incredibly fierce. Throughout the journey, Dark Emperor didn't even need to make a move. She single-handedly took down all the monsters, despite appearing very innocent and naive in front of Lin Luo, as if she were a little girl untouched by worldly affairs. Her combat fierceness was in no way inferior to Dark Emperor, and unlike Dark Emperor's violent aesthetics, Lady Kagaya's swordsmanship was light and graceful. Every strike was precise, without any superfluity, like a captivating dancer swaying elegantly. Lin Luo watched, thoroughly enjoying the sight, his heart racing. He couldn't help but remember the short, fat inspector's words about him showing off with a girl. Based on the current situation, it seemed more like the girl was leading him. In no time at all, Lady Kagaya had killed all the monsters in the area, clearly still wanting more. She begged her master to quickly take her to the next area. Lin Luo slowly stood up from the lounge chair, recalling that the main storyline of this secret realm was hundreds of ugly monsters attacking the elf tribe. The player's task was to help the elves defend their camp. In the middle of the plains, there was an area filled with huge stones. This Stonehenge was guarded by the elves, where they built simple walls and wooden huts. In the depths of the stone forest, there is a sacred tree, and on that tree grow the fragments of the God-given crystal that we need. They have the power to restore the energy of substitute. Lady Kagaya, puzzled, asked, so, if we help the elves protect the camp, will they give us this as a thank you gift? Lin Luo revealed a mysterious smile. Normally, that's the case. After repelling the ugly monsters, the elf tribe, in gratitude to the player, offers some of the God-given crystal shards. However, in a previous life, players discovered another strategy. If they let the ugly monsters completely break through the elf defenses before killing them, they could get more crystal shards. After all, getting a small part of the reward isn't as satisfying as monopolizing the resources. 3 hours later, the siege battle had reached its end. The elves' camp was eventually breached, and the remaining elves left with resentment. Seeing this, Lin Luo knew the time was right, and immediately led Lady Kagaya to charge in. By then, A large number of ugly monsters had entered deep into the Stonehenge. They slowly piled up together, merging into a level 35 boss ugly monster leader. When he saw the crystal clear crystal shards on the sacred stone tree, his lips couldn't help but betray his excitement tears. Suddenly, a flash of sword light passed by, directly severing the hand it was about to use to pick the shards. Lin Luo, leading Lady Kagaya and Dark Emperor, appeared before it. Lin Luo looked at the sacred stone tree with satisfaction. The number of crystal shards was even more than he remembered. This time, it was really a windfall. The ugly monster leader immediately roared in anger. It didn't expect this puny human to dare snatch its food. Lin Luo ignored it, casually picking a god-given crystal shard. A mysterious power instantly flowed into his body through his arm. The long silent Master of Wishes in his body finally awakened again. Master of Wishes, intoxicated, said, "What abundant energy. Thank you, my master." Seeing this, Lin Luo immediately made a wish. Dark Emperor's subsequent attacks were all critical hits, continuing until the ugly monster leader was dead. Master of Wishes turned serious, and the Book of Wishes started flipping rapidly. "As you wish, my master. I will fulfill all your desires." Dark Emperor immediately felt a surge of violent energy within him, but the ugly monster leader didn't give him a chance to react, directly slamming a fist towards him. Lin Luo, seeing this, shouted, "Lady Kagaya, switch to Rainy Night, umbrella form. Block all attacks for Dark Emperor. Let him focus on output." Lady Kagaya's long sword quickly transformed into an umbrella, which she then swung in front of Dark Emperor. The huge fist smashed hard on the umbrella surface, producing a deafening sound. Unfortunately, this attack didn't cause any harm to Lady Kagaya. Other smaller ugly monsters also took the opportunity to attack the two substitutes. The duo ignored these minor monsters, quickly dodging the attack and then swiftly lunging towards the ugly monster leader. Soon, a fierce battle ensued. Your substitute Lady Kagaya caused 200 points of real damage to the ugly monster leader. Your substitute Dark Emperor inflicted 370 points of critical damage. Seize by force activated successfully seizing 27,900 points of life. The ugly monster leader was toyed with by the two substitutes, and Dark Emperor permanently seized its life points. Angered, it swung its meteor hammer furiously, temporarily repelling the two substitutes. It then took a deep breath, gathering a powerful energy in its mouth, ready to unleash its strongest move, Destruction Death Ray. Lin Luo, seeing this, was shocked, immediately ordering Lady Kagaya to enter full defense mode. A massive energy beam fiercely struck Lady Kagaya's umbrella, blasting the two back continuously. After the dust settled, Lady Kagaya's black umbrella was surprisingly unbroken. The two substitutes slowly stood up from behind the umbrella. In Rainy Night, umbrella mode, Lady Kagaya's defense instantly rose to 430 points, and as long as the energy wasn't depleted, her life points wouldn't drop at all. Even so, Lin Luo also broke out in a cold sweat at that moment, because although Lady Kagaya didn't suffer any harm from that strike, her energy was at rock bottom, and even Dark Emperor co-defending with her appeared to be energy depleted. Lin Luo, pondering for a moment, immediately plucked a few crystal shards from the sacred stone tree. Dark Emperor instantly felt a continuous replenishment of energy. The ugly monster leader, weakened after releasing its ultimate move, was in a perfect state for a counterattack. Countless fist shadows directly pummeled towards the ugly monster leader's big head. Seize by force activated successfully seizing the skill Destruction Death Ray, successfully seizing 36 points of agility. The ugly monster leader ultimately let out a frustrated roar, being blown into bits by Dark Emperor. Congratulations to the player for killing the ugly monster leader, earning 9,500,000 experience points. Killing a monster 13 levels higher yields 1,400% experience points. Such a massive amount of experience points directly activated Lin Luo's third professional skill, all swords returning to the source. Countless sword energies, like a mini-storm, swirled around him. Just then, the ugly monster leader, which had just been blown to bits, started to wriggle. The next moment, they all attacked Lin Luo. A disdainful smile appeared on Lin Luo's lips. Perfect opportunity to test out the new skill. Suddenly, dozens of flying swords appeared behind Lin Luo, instantly annihilating all the ugly monsters. He allocated all the attribute points he gained from leveling up to agility, raising his agility to 204 points, significantly increasing his attack speed. Lin Luo was very satisfied with the all swords return to origin. Its attack power was now comparable to a regular substitute. Fighting monsters himself was indeed exhilarating, but just 1 second of attack had completely drained his mana. Lin Luo remembered that mages have skills to accelerate mana recovery and absorb mana from monsters at their first job change. He firmly decided that when he had time, he would acquire such a skill. He didn't want such a powerful skill to only serve as a lifesaver, limiting its use to critical moments. Lin Luo's gaze then shifted to the nearby sacred stone tree, laden with leaf-like god-given crystal shards. He wondered how much return this would bring him. Lin Luo swung his short blade, releasing a burst of gale sword energies, instantly slashing down all the crystal shards from the stone tree. After counting, he found he had collected over 100 pieces, equivalent to 5 SSS grade super energy crystals. crystals. With a few more days of grinding, he believed his substitutes wouldn't lack energy for a long time. This was also an advantage of clearing levels beyond his own. For others, there might not have been so many God-given crystal shards. Next was the exciting 10 consecutive spins on the Wheel of Destiny. He had finally saved up 20 lottery tickets to use all at once. Master of Wishes slowly appeared beside Lin Luo, gracefully bowing to him. Lin Luo, embracing Master of Wishes, jokingly scolded, "Master of Wishes, you need to put in more effort this time. If you draw 2 life-extending pills like last time, it won't justify the large amount of energy I spent reviving you." Master of Wishes replied somewhat awkwardly, "Wise Master, I suggest you add a limiting condition to your wish." Seeing this, Lin Luo stopped joking and waved his hand, summoning the Wheel of Destiny. "My next 10 consecutive spins must yield an item of S grade or above, and the S grade or above items drawn will not include life-extending pills." As the 20 pointers on the Wheel of Destiny gradually halted, 20 beams of light, each a different color, burst forth. Lin Luo, with sharp eyes, caught one golden ray of light. Excited, Lin Luo exclaimed, "It's a golden legendary SS grade cooldown crystal, able to permanently reduce the cooldown of talents by half." He eagerly crushed the crystal, allowing him to plunder 2 S grade or higher talents per day. Lin Luo then turned his attention to an A grade crystal he had just drawn. His gaze slightly froze. "It's a magic power crystal that increases intelligence, able to boost intelligence by 10 points. Master of Wishes whispered in Lin Luo's ear, "Respected Master, I suggest you allocate this intelligence crystal to the person who needs it most." Lin Luo looked at his 3 substitutes. Their intelligence stats from left to right were 180, 30, and 1. It seemed the person who needed intelligence the most didn't require him to choose. Although he planned to use the intelligence crystal for Dark Emperor, he still didn't quite understand the role of intelligence attribute for substitutes. Dark Emperor's intelligence is 1, hence he lacks the ability to fight autonomously, which he could understand. But Master of Wishes' intelligence is as high as 180, theoretically 18 times higher than an average person's intelligence. Although he reacts quickly and offers many good suggestions, it doesn't seem overly extraordinary. And Lady Kagaya's intelligence is 30, supposedly 3 times that of an average person. But aside from being obedient and sensible, she seems like a simple little sister, not noticeably smarter than him. Master of Wishes noticed Lin Luo's confusion and quickly explained, "Respected Master, intelligence does not equate to wisdom or cleverness. It reflects in the speed of problem solving. The higher the intelligence value, the stronger the ability to learn knowledge and gain experience, which manifests in combat and communication, among other aspects." Lin Luo's mind sharpened. So it seems Dark Emperor, who relies purely on brute force, really needs these 10 points of intelligence the most. With the rising levels of monsters, he is no longer as powerful as he was when bullying weaker enemies. Thinking this, Lin Luo directly threw the intelligence crystal to the wooden Dark Emperor, and then made him crush the crystal. As Dark Emperor absorbed the energy of the intelligence crystal, his originally dull eyes instantly became lively. Then, he uttered a deep and majestic voice, "Master, thank you for your grace. Dark Emperor will clear all obstacles in your path." Lin Luo, hearing this, said with relief, "You have finally grown up. From now on, I won't need to control your combat." Lin Luo then threw several limit crystals to Master of Wishes, raising his energy limit from 300 points to 355 points, increasing the upper limit for making wishes. After handling everything, he asked Master of Wishes to help him locate the next target for Plunder. With his talent cooldown time halved, he could use the Plunder talent again in the evening. Meanwhile, in the teaching building of the first high school, a high school student named Yang Yong was being bullied by his classmates. Every day he suffered insults and beatings from these people, especially the leader, Zhou Yu. Previously, Yang Yong always endured it, but now he has awakened the A-grade talent of Wrathful Sin, reaching his limit of tolerance. All the humiliations he suffered before, he planned to return them today, but the next moment, his fist was tightly entangled by a dark green tentacle. Zhou Yu's back unexpectedly sprouted several tentacles. Zhou Yu, with a cold expression, said, "Did you think you were the only one who hid your talent level? If it weren't for finding substitutes too ugly, I would have killed you long ago." Yang Yong's face instantly changed. He hadn't expected Zhou Yu to have awakened an S-grade talent, but how could it be that such a bully had such power? Is it really true that as the Tao rises 1 foot, the devil rises 10? His limbs were tightly entangled by the tentacles, rendering him incapable of any resistance. All the events that occurred during this time were directly transmitted into Lin Luo's mind by Master of Wishes using the power of the Book of Wishes, and Zhou Yu was precisely Lin Luo's 4th Plunder target. At that moment, Zhou Yu had to be immobilized Yang Yong. "Little Yang, why are you raging now? Why don't you summon a substitute to clash with me?" The minions around Zhou Yu became arrogant again, starting to mock and ridicule Yang Yong. Yang Yong found that no matter how much strength he exerted, he couldn't break free from Zhou Yu's grasp, filling his heart with despair. Just then, a pleasant female voice came from the door. "What are you doing this late?" A beautiful female teacher in professional attire walked over. "You can't bully other students just because you have a strong talent." Yang Yong, plunged in despair, saw the female teacher, like an angel appearing before him, his eyes filled with a a glimmer of hope. However, Zhou Yu's face darkened, his eyes flickering. Having already exposed his S-grade substitute green demon, he had nothing to lose. Zhou Yu immediately controlled his tentacles to tightly entangle the female teacher, lightly caressing her cheek. Chen Xiaoyun, a recent university graduate and a new teacher at the school, was youthful and attractive, and had always been the object of admiration for these high school students. Zhou Yu certainly wouldn't miss this opportunity. He couldn't help but slowly rub his tentacles on Chen Xiaoyun's legs. This action immediately flushed Chen Xiaoyun's face. Her eyes filled with terror as she looked at Zhou Yu. Zhou Yu, with a lecherous gaze, ignored Yang Yang's curses behind him and reached out towards Chen Xiaoyun. Suddenly, numerous cold sword lights flashed, and the green demon's tentacles were neatly severed. A stunning figure appeared behind Zhou Yu, instantly taking down his two minions. Zhou Yu became tense and shouted angrily, "Come out! Stop playing tricks!" Lin Luo emerged from the shadows with a smile, accompanied by Lady Kagaya in a maid outfit, calmly asking, "You're Zhou Yu, right?" Zhou Yu, looking displeased, asked, "Who are you? I don't recall our school having any awakeners above S grade." Lin Luo ignored him and directly summoned Master of Wishes, wishing for Lin Luo to be invulnerable for 30 seconds. The battle with Bai Honglai had made Lin Luo realize one thing: never underestimate any awakener above S grade. Zhou Yu, feeling ignored, became furious. "I'm talking to you. Who exactly are you?" Lin Luo glanced at the enraged Zhou Yu and said indifferently, "Don't worry about who I am. You have 3 seconds to think about your last words." Zhou Yu was intimidated by Lin Luo's imposing demeanor. A surge of nameless rage instantly rose in his heart. "I'll give you 3 seconds to get lost. Don't think you're something special just because you've awakened a substitute." A smile curled on Lin Luo's lips. "So, this is your last words, huh? Go!" Dark Emperor. Zhou Yu was startled and questioned loudly, "How many substitutes do you actually have?" Dark Emperor, of course, didn't hold back, covering him in a barrage of fist shadows, mercilessly striking the green tentacles. But in the next moment, his fists got stuck to the tentacles, and more tentacles swiftly entwined him completely. Zhou Yu's face lit up with joy. What's the use of having many substitutes? They are all just useless substitutes. Suddenly, numerous sword lights flashed before his eyes, and the green demon's tentacles were once again neatly severed. Lady Kagaya's face was filled with coldness, chopping the green demon into segments, falling to the ground like squid tentacles, writhing. Seeing this, Zhou Yu finally panicked, realizing his much-prided substitute wasn't invincible. He lost his previous arrogance. Pointing at Yang Yong, Zhou Yu pleaded, "It was Yang Yong who bullied my brother first. I just wanted to protect my brother. I didn't do anything wrong." Yang Yong quickly and loudly accused Zhou Yu of lying. Lin Luo, uninterested, said indifferently, "Stop struggling with your pathetic nature. Once you have power, you only do bad things. You're bound to be caught by the inspectorate sooner or later. You might as well die by my hand for more value." Zhou Yu, seeing Lin Luo unmoved, turned to Chen Xiaoyun for help. "Teacher Chen, save me. I have awakened an S-grade talent. I am a national key training object, supposed to be admitted to a key university." In a flash, Lady Kagaya appeared behind Zhou Yu, and a bloodline suddenly emerged on his neck. Zhou Yu collapsed to the ground, gradually ceasing to breathe. Lin Luo walked past his body, saying coldly, "She's your teacher, yet you dare to treat her like this. If you can do this to your own teacher today, you might kill someone tomorrow. You truly deserve to die." Lin Luo then activated the talent plundering ability, seizing Zhou Yu's talent. After taking Zhou Yu's talent, just as Lin Luo was about to check the talent details, he was interrupted by a grateful Yang Yong coming up to thank him. Yang Yong, somewhat shyly, inquired about his name. Lin Luo, naturally not revealing his real name, introduced himself as Dark Emperor, then coolly turned around with Lady Kagaya and left. At this moment, Lin Luo was unaware. He gained an enthusiastic young fanboy. After bidding farewell to Yang Yong, Lin Luo visited a restaurant to check the newly acquired talent. Perfect fusion merged the essence of any two existences, perfectly fusing them together, retaining their respective characteristics, lasting for 5 minutes. Cooldown 1 day. This talent is straightforward, but its specific effects need to be verified through actual practice. Then, with a light shout from Lin Luo, "Come out!" Green Demon 10 smooth green tentacles suddenly extended from his back, freely dancing in the air, resembling a giant octopus with its tentacles flaring. This feeling was somewhat fresh, like having a dozen freely extendable arms, and even the sense of touch was perceptible. He hadn't expected a substitute of this form, and quickly opened the Green Demon's attribute panel. The Green Demon had a skill called Elastic Skin, providing 50% damage reduction from blunt weapons, spells, and similar attacks, but increasing damage taken from sharp weapons by 20%. Lin Luo instantly understood why Dark Emperor's attacks were ineffective, likely due to the skill's influence. Lady Kagaya, however, handled him in just a few strikes. Although Green Demon's attack power isn't high, it can launch over a dozen attacks at once, and has defensive bonuses against spells, making it a decent substitute. With the matter satisfactorily resolved, Lin Luo decided to relax for a while. He summoned all his substitutes, planning to treat everyone to fried chicken. The restaurant he was that happened to be a famous chain specializing in fried chicken burgers. After ordering, he contentedly put down his phone. Since there was still space in the spatial crystal, he ordered extra just in case. A young female waitress approached him with a puzzled look. "Hello, sir. Did you order 300 chicken rolls, 300 spicy burgers, 200 tender beef quintets, 100 codfish burgers, and 400 colas?" Lin Luo replied with a smile. "Yes, I placed the order. I know your store might not have that much stock, so just bring as much as you have." Lin Luo remembered that in 6 months, food would become scarce globally. Since the spatial crystal preserves food as it was at the moment of storage, it was better to stock up on supplies. Suddenly, Lady Kagaya pointed outside and said, "Master, look, the fog outside seems to be getting thicker." Lin Luo felt the white mist looked familiar. He quickly checked the government announcements on his phone, then exclaimed in shock, "It's a mouse-level disaster, an interdimensional bug catastrophe. But why is it happening so much earlier? In my previous life, the first mouse-level disaster should have occurred in 7 days." Just then, the restaurant's door was suddenly flung open, and a young woman, crying bitterly, holding a child, rushed in. She kept crying out to save her child. Suddenly, a tentacle emerged from behind her and tripped her to the ground, revealing a spider monster as big as a truck. The spider had 2 crimson compound eyes on its head, and its ferocious mouth beneath was constantly dripping saliva. The fallen woman looked terrified, but no matter how much she struggled, she couldn't break free from the spider's grasp. Suddenly, Lin Luo rushed over and shielded her behind him. The woman, seeing the tall young man before her, felt a sense of security, but in the next moment, to her shock, the young man walked straight towards the spider monster. Lin Luo summoned Master of Wishes. "Master of Wishes, I wish for the fog within 10 meters around me to dissipate." Immediately, a white light dispersed the fog. Lin Luo swung his short blade, cleaving the spider in two with a swift sword energy. Congratulations to the player for killing a level 7 long-legged spider, earning 640 experience points. This disaster, though calamitous for humanity, also presented opportunities. Killing these monsters might not yield equipment or items, but it did grant 4 times the experience points. Several large locusts flew out of the fog, but before they could get close to Lin Luo, they were instantly slain by Lady Kagaya. Dark Emperor even went alone into the swarm of insects. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, in a district overrun by numerous insects, someone curiously observed these bug beasts through the thick fog, saying, "Told you, these insects are so huge. How much experience can we get from killing them?" Yu Taijia responded, "The bonus from killing monsters above our level, plus the 4-fold experience, should be quite substantial. This wave of disaster is catastrophic for ordinary people, but for us, who have awakened powerful talents, it's an opportunity to widen the gap with them." A person in a blue Taoist robe spoke. "It's impressive. Someone who came back from the future. You know so much." Yu Taijia turned to Lu Yu. The first player to second awaken in the original timeline was supposed to be 6 days after the mass awakening, but yesterday, that Dark Emperor advanced to his second awakening early, so the first mouse-level disaster also came ahead of schedule. But no matter, I found you guys to create the strongest team. By utilizing the phototaxis of these insects, we can quickly reach level 20 and complete our second awakening. After saying this, he smashed the window in front of him and led everyone into the fog. On Lin Luo's side, after killing a wave of insects, he realized that these insects seemed to have temporarily overcome their phototactic instinct and dared not come too close. Lin Luo asked Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya to guard the door, while he turned to check if his ordered food was packed. He went to the counter, packing all the hot burgers and fried chicken into the spatial crystal. Then, he solemnly advised, "For the next 10 days or so, it's unlikely anyone will come to rescue you. Outside, there are insects that bite and eat people everywhere. Don't go out, just wait for help here. The food and water in the store should be enough to get you through. After I leave, immediately turn off the lights. The light will attract the insects in the fog." Seeing Lin Luo about to leave, the young woman hurriedly grabbed his arm. "You take me with you. My child is too young to die here." Seeing this, others also gathered around, pleading with Lin Luo to take them away. Lin Luo's gaze showed no hesitation as he refused everyone, then pushed the door and stepped out of the restaurant. Suddenly, he felt a pang in his heart, a foreboding feeling, as if he had overlooked something important. He suddenly remembered that history had changed due to his rebirth, and the disaster had come early. Would Sister Wen be able to handle the sudden danger? At that moment, a girl who was working late was trapped in the fog, attacked by an alien hunter as tall as a 2-story building. Suddenly, a figure in a blue Taoist robe descended from the sky. Behind him, an imposing elder appeared, who gently waved his hand after forming a Taoist gesture, immediately crushing the alien hunter to the ground. He cheekily said, "Fair lady, you are safe now. I, Lu Yu, am a contemporary Taoist master. How will you repay me?" Just then, a beam of light suddenly obliterated the suppressed alien hunter. It was the exclusive skill of the SS grade substitute Emperor's Eye, life and death control. 3 more figures emerged from the fog. Hui Tailang politely said, "Taoist Lu, let me help you." Lu Yu's eyes turned cold, clearly displeased with him for openly snatching experience points. Seeing this, Hui Tailang hurriedly apologized with a smile. After all, he couldn't afford to offend someone who had awakened an SSS grade talent. Qin Ceiling fan, walking at the back, suddenly said, "Now that this monster is dead, I believe you won't mind if I make use of it." He slowly approached the alien hunter's corpse, muttering softly, "For your king, rise again." The shadow beneath the corpse seemed to come alive, eventually forming a pitch-black alien hunter. Lu Yu exclaimed, "So this is the SS grade talent, Shadow Monarch. Ha, old you, the partners you found are quite impressive." Yu Taijie inwardly smiled bitterly. His new teammates were indeed more terrifying than the next. Gathering them together, he wasn't sure if it was a good or bad thing. Meanwhile, not far away, a figure was rapidly approaching. Wherever he passed, the fog dispersed, and the nearby insects were instantly killed. Lu Yu and the others naturally noticed Lin Luo running wildly in the fog, prompting an interested conversation. His monster-killing technique is clean and efficient. Is he leveling up by killing monsters like us? But ordinary people don't have the ability to predict the future. He must be someone who has awakened a decent talent, trying to fight his way out for survival. At this moment, Lin Luo had no time to pay attention to his surroundings, rushing towards Sister Wen's house based on his past life's memory. In no time, he had arrived at Wen Yuxi's doorstep and immediately started knocking on the door without hesitation. As long as he confirmed that their family was safe, he could go back to sleep peacefully. Footsteps quickly sounded from inside the door, followed by a familiar and anxious voice. "Is Wen Yuxi back?" As the door opened, a middle-aged woman with a worried expression appeared. Wen Yuxi's mother, Li Junjie, seeing Lin Luo at the door, she showed a look of surprise. While Lin Luo was moved to see his benefactor after many years, he focused on the key point in her words. "Auntie Li, isn't Sister Wen at home?" Li Junjie, looking worried, said, "It's way past the end of the workday, and Wen Yuxi still hasn't returned. I don't know if something happened. There's no signal on the mobile phone with this fog outside. What should we do?" Lin Luo, hearing this, instantly felt a bad premonition. Sister Wen must be in trouble. He quickly said, "Auntie, don't panic. I'm going to look for Sister Wen now. You promise me, no matter what noise you hear, do not go out or open the windows." After speaking, he rushed into the thick fog with determination in his eyes. Given the current situation, anyone without awakened combat talents or inherited instance powers would have a slim chance of survival against the insects. "Sister Wen, you must be safe." As Lin Luo sped through the fog, he suddenly heard Dark Emperor's voice. "Master, there's someone here." Not far away on the ground lay a disfigured corpse, dressed and shaped like a city female office worker. Lin Luo's face darkened. The disaster is indeed perilous. "I must find Sister Wen quickly." He immediately summoned Master of Wishes, asking him to reveal Wen Yuxi's location. The Book of Wishes rapidly flipped, its pages shimmering with golden light. Moments later, Wen Yuxi's location appeared in his mind, about a 3-minute distance from him, at a 24-hour convenience store nearby. The exterior was swarming with giant locusts. Wen Yuxi and her friend Wen Wen were crouching in a corner, along with a store employee, Mei Daji, who muttered fearfully, "It's over. It's the end of the world. Everyone's doomed. No one can escape alive." His gaze towards the two girls gradually changed. Attracted by Wen Yuxi's youthful beauty, he suddenly lunged at them. The two women, frightened, stood up from the ground. Wen Yuxi, with an unhappy face, asked, "What are you trying to do?" Mei Daji spread his hands and said, "There are so many insects outside that could rush in at any moment. We could die at any time. Of course, we should enjoy ourselves in time." Wen Wen stood up, cursing furiously. "Are you sick? Look at yourself in the mirror." Mei Daji pushed Wen Wen away, grabbing Wen Yuxi's hand, mockingly saying, "I didn't even fancy you. I want her." Wen Wen immediately rushed over to pull him away, but Mei Daji, annoyed, pushed her back fiercely. This push made her stumble and faint after hitting the corner of the wall. Mei Daji slowly unbuckled his belt, leeringly saying, "I'm still a virgin, girl. Let me die without regrets." Wen Yuxi, caught off guard, was pinned against the wall, terrified, struggling desperately. Seeing her resist, Mei Daji slapped her, causing her to briefly lose consciousness. Suddenly, the glass door shattered with a loud crash, followed by the sound of glass shards hitting the ground. Mei Daji turned pale and looked back, wondering if insects had invaded, but a fist swiftly flew past, sending Mei Daji flying. A figure appeared behind Wen Yuxi, carefully holding her in his arms. Wen Yuxi exclaimed in disbelief, "Is it you, Lin Luo?" Lin Luo looked at her tenderly, apologizing. "Sorry, Sister Wen, I'm late." Mei Daji, seeing it was a person and not insects, grew bolder and began to curse at Lin Luo. Lin Luo glared coldly at him. In the next moment, Dark Emperor appeared, gripping Mei Daji's neck and lifting him like a dead dog. Lin Luo, with a chilling gaze, asked Mei Daji, "Tell me, what did you do to her?" Mei Daji, panicking, started to scream for help, but the grip on his throat tightened, reducing him to fearful whimpers. Lin Luo's eyes, filled with a murderous aura, pinned him down. "I'm giving you one last chance. What did you do to her?" As Dark Emperor's grip tightened, Mei Daji's face turned from red to blue. At Lin Luo's command, Dark Emperor threw him to the ground, giving him a chance to speak. Mei Daji crawled over, clinging to Lin Luo's legs, begging for mercy. "Brother, I was wrong. I swear I didn't do anything to your woman. Please spare me. I'll turn myself in right away." Mei Daji promised. Lin Luo's expression changed, and a cruel smile formed on his lips. "Spare you? All right, I'll give you two choices. First, I kill you now. Second, you go outside. Maybe you'll have a slim chance to survive." Mei Daji, with a flickering gaze, said, "Thank you, big brother, for sparing scaring me. I'll go outside. Watching Mei Daji walk out, Lin Luo's voice turned icy. Master of wishes, I wish that within 5 minutes, 200 insects will appear around him. Mei Daji, feeling secretly relieved as he escaped the store, thought the convenience store's glass was already broken. It was only a matter of time before insects would come in. Everyone will die soon. He knew a nearby place to hide. Suddenly, a giant locust pounced on him, and more insects emerged from the fog, swarming over his body, frenziedly gnawing at him to his death. He couldn't understand why he was so unlucky to encounter so many insects as soon as he stepped outside. Lin Luo gently stroked Wen Yuxi's hair, reassuring her. Sister One, don't be afraid. It's all over now. Wen Yuxi looked up at Lin Luo and asked softly, did you really let him go? Lin Luo replied gravely, of course not. How could I easily forgive someone who dared to harm the most important person to me? Only by letting him die under the fangs of countless insects can he repay a fraction of his sins. Wen Yuxi's face blushed at his words. Just as she was about to ask more, Lady Kagaya suddenly appeared beside them, curiously asking, Master, is she the one who will become your girlfriend? Lin Luo was dumbfounded and scolded loudly, Lady Kagaya, don't talk nonsense. Wen Yuxi, already shy, turned away, unwilling to look at Lin Luo anymore. Lady Kagaya's face showed confusion as she earnestly asked, Master, don't you like her? You said before that she's very important to you. At this point, Lin Luo was both embarrassed and excited, but he didn't deny Lady Kagaya's words. Instead, he chuckled sheepishly. Seeing Wen Yuxi also looking at him, he became somewhat flustered. Just then, when one who had fainted suddenly woke up, Wen Yuxi quickly rushed over and hugged her, checking her injuries. Finding that she was mainly just having a headache, she carefully helped her up. Seeing Lin Luo, a stranger, Wen clung to Wen Yuxi in fear. Wen, don't be afraid. He's my good friend Lin Luo. He saved us. Wen Yuxi reassured her, blushing. Wen looked at Lin Luo curiously, wondering when Wen Yuxi had such a handsome friend. Lin Luo, seeing both girls were safe, urged them to leave quickly. There's no barrier at the door, and soon a swarm of insects will fill the place. Half an hour later, Lin Luo escorted Wen Yuxi to her home. Upon opening the door, Li Junjie greeted Wen Yuxi with a look of joy, and the mother and daughter hugged tightly, both somewhat shaken. After settling down in the living room, Li Junjie served Lin Luo fragrant tea, praising him profusely. Lin Luo, slightly embarrassed, scratched the back of his head. Noticing her father's absence, Wen Yuxi asked her mother about him. Li Junjie's expression turned worried. Your dad, a public servant, was notified to stay on duty at the office today. I hope he's safe. Lin Luo paused, realizing the timing. Wen Yuxi's father worked in a service center with open doors, easily accessible to insects. They probably didn't know about the insect's phototactic nature. If the building's lights attract insects, isn't that like an open invitation? He thought. Suddenly standing up, Lin Luo spoke seriously. Auntie Li, Sister One, I must go to Uncle One's office right now. Wen Yuxi immediately objected. No, it's too dangerous outside. There are insects everywhere. Lin Luo looked at her tenderly, reassuring. Don't worry, Sister One, I will bring Uncle One back safely. Half an hour later, Lin Luo arrived at the Hang City Service Center. Faint cries and shouts could be heard inside, suggesting he was too late and insects had already attacked. Lin Luo suddenly felt an oppressive aura and looked around cautiously. Mouse-level disaster creatures shouldn't be higher than level 20. Just then, part of the office building's upper left corner collapsed, revealing a shadow dozens of meters tall in the fog. Lin Luo gasped in shock. It's a wormhole guardian. He gazed at the wormhole guardian, slightly dazed. Creatures in disasters typically come through wormholes, and those near the wormholes, called wormhole guardians, have higher levels. Killing a wormhole guardian can stop the corresponding area's disaster before the world descended into chaos. The authorities had once released information. Anyone who provides the specific location of a wormhole guardian and contributes to its siege will receive extremely generous rewards. Lin Luo thought, staring at the wormhole guardian, a level 30 plus behemoth. He wondered if it was luck or misfortune, but his priority was to save Uncle Wan. Inside the office building, Guanbang and Wen Jiangwo were hiding from the insects, barricading themselves in an archive room with cabinets against the door. The two soon-to-retire men trembled in fear, sweating profusely as the door dented under the insects' attacks. Never in their lives had they faced anything more bizarre and terrifying than this day. Suddenly, the window above Wen Jiangwo's head shattered, causing both men to scream in terror. But after a while, no insects came through the window and the banging outside ceased. Then, Lin Luo's voice came from outside. Uncle Wan, it's Lin Luo. Are you in there? When Jiangwo looked astonished, Lin Luo, they hurriedly opened the door and saw Lin Luo, short blade in hand, smiling as he greeted them with the bisected insects on the ground no longer struggling. Meanwhile, at Hang City's martial arts square, Yu Taijie, clenching his teeth, lamented. Sacred Forest, the secret realm for energy acquisition, was cleared by Dark Emperor before us. Yu Taijie had sacrificed many global firsts to gather these strongest awakeners, and now Dark Emperor had beaten him to the realm. The secret realm's display showed. Clearing player, Dark Emperor, time, 1 hour 52 minutes. Remaining refresh time, 18 hours. Qin Fan, curious, asked. He spent so long? Did he solo the realm? How did his substitute sustain the energy for such a prolonged battle? Yu Taijie, grim-faced, explained. Normally, the the energy consumption isn't this high. You can just help NPCs at the right time. I just didn't expect someone to beat us to it. Liu speculated. Old Yu, seems like Dark Emperor is also a time traveler like you. Yu Taichia, face ashen, admitted it was likely, but couldn't fathom how Dark Emperor had stolen his power and traveled with him. The only shortcoming of us, the SS class and above awakeners, is that substitute requires a massive energy supply, but now's not the time for that. I know other realms for energy farming. I refuse to believe he's cleared them all, and as for Dark Emperor, I'll have to confront him sooner or later. Just then, Lin Luo had just escorted Father One home. Father One, still dazed, couldn't grasp the day's surreal events, finding it unbelievable that such terrifying insects were easily chopped up by the young man his family had been supporting since childhood. Lin Luo, noticing Uncle One's confusion, quickly explained, Uncle One, I've awakened an S-level talent, which enables me to kill those insects. Uncle One, surprised, responded, is an S-level talent that strong? We've also awakened talents. For example, I've awakened a D-level talent, strength, which accelerates physical recovery. I can now climb 5 floors without getting out of breath. Auntie One also shared with interest, I've awakened a C-level talent, wisdom. It has greatly improved my memory. They say it can even prevent senile dementia. When Yusi, with her hands affectionately on Lin Luo's shoulders, boasted, I'm even more impressive than you two. I've awakened an A-level talent, heavenly voice. It makes my singing more beautiful and can restore everyone's stamina and add various beneficial effects. At this moment, Auntie One curiously asked Lin Luo, what talent did you awaken? Lin Luo paused for a moment, knowing that directly asking about someone's talent was taboo in the current environment. However, he understood Auntie One's simple concern and curiosity, and replied, Auntie, I've awakened an S-level talent called Heavenly Justice. It's a talent, powerful offensive capabilities. When Yusi, with an expectant look, said, Lin Luo, you're so amazing. I'm too scared to go on dungeon runs. Take me with you when you have time. Uncle One, somewhat emotional, remarked, every generation has its talents. Lin Luo, your social status in the future will be very high. Make sure to seize this opportunity. Responding to the future father-in-law's advice, Lin Luo naturally promised to do so. Uncle One, standing up tiredly, said, Lin Luo, you've worked hard today. It's getting late, and we have a guest room. You can stay here for the night. Lin Luo was momentarily stunned and felt somewhat embarrassed. Seeing this, when Yusi quickly grabbed his hand to show him the room, Uncle One watched Lin Luo's back, lost in thought. Back then, it was because he saw the two of them being overly intimate that he talked to Lin Luo, leading to the self-conscious Lin Luo voluntarily cutting off ties with the One family. He never imagined that the orphanage boy would become their family's savior after many years of separation. The next morning, Lin Luo woke up from his sleep, feeling somewhat bewildered by everything that happened the previous day. He had not only saved Sister One and Uncle One, but also ended up staying at their house. The warmth he felt was comforting, but he knew it wasn't time to relax yet. There's still a lot for him to do. His brother is still waiting for his rescue. The priority now is to strengthen himself, to seek out the next S-level or higher substitute as soon as possible. In a building, a middle-aged man is focusing on conjuring his substitute. With an evil face, he declares, with the fear and despair of all beings, I summon you, Fear Demon King. Behind him, endless evil flames surge up, and the terrifying figure of a demon king-like entity instantly appears. The middle-aged man looks at the figure with joy, laughing somewhat maniacally. Is this an SS-level substitute? My very own SS-level substitute. The Fear Demon King looks down at the man and whispers, my servant, go forth, sacrifice the fear and despair of living beings to me. I will grant you invincible power. After leaving the One family, he immediately begins choosing his next plunder target. Among the 15 executives of the Smiling Coffin organization, Lu Ming and Zhou Yu have already been eliminated by him. There are 2 others confirmed to have awakened S-level talents, Hu Jinming and Guotao. Lin Luo immediately instructs Master of Wishes to send him Hu Jinming's location. Master of Wishes quickly harnesses the power of the Book of Wishes. Moments later, a person's coordinates appear in Lin Luo's mind. He turns his head, his profound gaze seeming to pierce through the endless fog to a certain figure. He leaps from the rooftop and swiftly heads in that direction. The joy of the hunt brings a genuine smile to Lin Luo's face. Meanwhile, Hu Jinming, still immersed in the madness of summoning an SS-level substitute, is oblivious to the impending danger. His little daughter, somewhat timidly, calls out, Daddy. This brings him back from his frenzy. He crouches down and gently touches his daughter's head, calming her fears and softly saying, Daddy's going out to buy you something tasty. Will you wait for me at home? The daughter's fearful gaze never dissipates. She is genuinely scared of her father's substitute. After speaking, Hu Jinming, accompanied by the Fear Demon King, walks out the door, heading into the fog without hesitation, leaving his daughter alone, frightened in the corner. Soon, the fog resounds with the screams of insects and the Fear Demon King's wild laughter. As the Fear Demon King rampages, Hu Jinming's level also starts to skyrocket. This feeling of leveling up effortlessly and quickly, without moving a muscle, drives him into further madness. He's actually a tragic figure. His family was poor, but always happy and harmonious. Then, his wife ran off with a wealthy person, and he constantly faced ridicule and humiliation. He became despondent until the moment of global awakening, when he awaken the extremely rare dual S-level talent, Emotion Detonator, summoning the SS-level substitute, Fear Demon King, with the fear and despair of all in Hang City. Just as Hu Jinming revels in his triumph, the Fear Demon King's deep voice resonates. Servant, my power is still too weak. The souls of these creatures are too feeble. Their fear is not even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. Hu Jinming, somewhat bewildered, asked, then where can we find enough fear? The Fear Demon King, with a seductive voice, replied, only the fear produced by human souls is the most delicious nourishment for me. Hu Jinming, upon hearing that it wanted to kill humans, fell into hesitation. A wisp of green fog kept eroding his mind. Again, the persuasive voice of the Fear Demon King resonated. My poor servant, don't you yearn for great power? Do you want to continue being mocked and trampled by others? The green light in Hu Jinming's eyes intensified, a surge of impulse instantly suppressing the hesitation in his heart. He immediately grinned and said, as you command, master. Soon, they arrived at a residential area. The Fear Demon King smashed open the door of a house. Inside, a man was tightly holding his wife and newborn child, looking at the Fear Demon King in front of them with a face full of horror. Seeing the family of three, Hu Jinming's clear eyes suppressed the green light, and he cautiously said, scaring them should be enough to generate fear, right? There's no need to actually kill people. Just then, the man charged forward with a knife. The Fear Demon King, ignoring Hu Jinming's plea, directly pierced the man's abdomen and then licked the fresh blood from his hand with enjoyment. The fear of humans is indeed much sweeter and more delicious than that of monsters. Hu Jinming, pale-faced, watched all this and timidly muttered to himself, what exactly is the substitute I've nurtured? Fear Demon King was crouching on the corpses, constantly sucking in a green breath from him. Moments later, its greedy gaze shifted to a woman nearby. Hu Jinming hurried forward to stop him, loudly condemning Fear Demon King's actions. Seeing this, Fear Demon King sneered menacingly and pushed him against the wall. The scorching breath sprayed directly onto his face. Servant, I heed your summon, born from the despair and fear of all beings absorbed from the depths of your soul. I am the catastrophe. Put away your hypocritical kindness. When I have had my fill, I will naturally grant you invincible power. After saying this, he tossed him next to the woman, threatening, you kill this woman. Hu Jinming, upon hearing this, was instantly horrified, turned around, and tried to flee the scene. Fear Demon King let out a strange laugh, and a wave of green mist drifted towards Hu Jinming, enveloping him. Hu Jinming's expression became dazed, his face quickly contorted into a ferocious look, his eyes completely filled with a dim green light. He picked up a dagger from the ground, and with a sinister laugh, stabbed at the terrified woman. Seeing her fate sealed, the woman desperately pleaded for her child not to be harmed. Hu Jinming, without any hesitation, immediately filled the room with the woman's wails of agony. Just at that moment, the fog in the corridor swiftly dissipated, and a figure swiftly entered the room. It was Lin Luo, who arrived belatedly. In the room, a man covered in blood was sinisterly stabbing a woman's body repeatedly. The mutilated woman had already stopped struggling. Seeing this, Lin Luo coldly snorted, and without hesitation, ordered Dark Emperor to kill the man. Just then, a figure appeared behind Hu Jinming. Lin Luo looked up and saw a strong demon with wings on its back and horns on its head standing there, facing Dark Emperor's iron fist. The opponent easily caught it with one hand. Fear Demon King's gaze towards Lin Luo was filled with greed, and his sinister voice rang in his ear. I didn't expect you to have such a powerful soul. Such intense emotions would be delicious if immersed in despair. After speaking, he surprisingly punched Dark Emperor away. The always victorious Dark Emperor was now being suppressed, and his life points started crazily dropping. Lin Luo felt a warning in his heart. Just as the demonic figure approached him, the ferocious punch was so swift it almost caught him. A second-class advancement legendary master, off guard, facing Fear Demon King's sudden heavy punch. A sudden umbrella appeared in front of Lin Luo. Lady Kagaya's timely appearance shielded him from this fatal blow. The next moment, a series of thunderous noises exploded in his ears, the umbrella precisely blocking all attacks, withstanding the demon's attacks without breaching Lady Kagaya's defense. As Fear Demon King grew impatient, a burly figure suddenly appeared beside him, landing a heavy punch on his face. Fear Demon King staggered, roaring furiously, I am the mighty Fear Demon King. All of you, get out of my way. Two strong substitutes instantly started a frenzied brawl in the living room, without any defense or dodging, just a crazy onslaught of punches. Seeing Dark Emperor again being suppressed, Lin Luo immediately ordered Lady Kagaya to assist. Her umbrella instantly transformed into a long sword, and she swiftly charged in. Fear Demon King suddenly burst out with a ring of demon energy, shocking both substitutes at the same time. Lady Kagaya accidentally got hit by a punch. Her frail body instantly flung away. Lin Luo hurried to catch her, just as Fear Demon King raised his fists high, ready to smash them down on Dark Emperor. Lin Luo raised his head, his eyes flickering with cold light, and with a light shout, several green, slick tentacles instantly extended from his back. Fear Demon King's fists were instantly entangled by tentacles, followed by even more tentacles tightly binding Fear Demon King. Just as Fear Demon King was about to burst out with demon energy, a long knife fiercely stabbed into his chest. Fear Demon King roared unwillingly. Green flames flames suddenly engulfing his body. He bellowed, "I will not die. I am the fear in the hearts of all beings. As long as fear exists, I will come back." His muscular demonic body directly turned into a wisp of green flame, then scattered with the wind. As Fear Demon King dissipated, Hu Jinming, who was just laughing crazily, stiffened. The green light in his eyes faded, returning to clarity. When he saw the scene before him, he let out a hoarse scream. Seeing the mutilated woman, he collapsed to the ground. He thought he had gained the power to turn his life around, but he didn't expect to unleash a terrifying murderous demon, even being manipulated by it. As Hu Jinming was lost in thought, a faint voice sounded in his ear. "Do you have any last words before dying?" He suddenly looked up, only to see the man who killed his substitute coldly looking down at him. He nervously said in a hurry, "Last words? What are you going to do? This is a misunderstanding. I didn't mean it. I was just controlled by my substitute." Lin Luo slowly pulled out his short blade and said calmly, "Murder for murder. You know this principle, don't you? And as long as you are alive, your substitute could cause chaos again." Hu Jinming, with a vacant look, murmured, "You are right. Murder for murder is only fair." He stood up, speaking in a daze. "I only have one request. My daughter is waiting for me to return home. Please tell her that daddy has gone to a faraway place, and I will come back to find her when she grows up." As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Luo stabbed his chest with a knife, whispering in his ear, "Don't worry, I will take care of your daughter." Hu Jinming showed gratitude in his eyes, thanked him, and then breathed his last. Looking at Hu Jinming lying in the pool of blood, Lin Luo also felt a bit melancholic. Just then, a prompt sounded in his ear. "Your S-Class talent Plunder has been activated. Please choose one among the target's attribute values, talent effects, skill effects, and soul power to plunder." Lin Luo, thinking of the opponent's demonic-like substitute, which required his 3 substitutes to kill, was sure it was at least an SS-Class talent, and from the looks of it, that demonic substitute seemed to backlash and control its master. If he chose soul power, he could directly advance an S-Class talent to SS-Class, but if he chose talent effect, he would obtain that powerful substitute. Lin Luo quickly made his choice. He wanted that demonic substitute. Hu Jinming couldn't tame it, but that didn't mean he couldn't successfully plunder the target's talent. Congratulations on obtaining the SS-Class talent. Emotion Igniter. A surge of unprecedented, tumultuous power crazily rushed into his body. Lin Luo immediately opened his attribute panel. The SS-Class talent Emotion Igniter actually has 2 exclusive skills. The first skill, Emotional Induction, allows sensing the emotions of all beings within a 300,000 meter radius. The second skill, Emotional Detonation, can intensify the emotions of any being within a 300,000 meter radius by 10-fold. Lin Luo looked at the talent attributes, somewhat baffled. Although the skill range is ridiculously large, and the ability to control others' emotions is not bad, it doesn't seem to have any special features. Lin Luo immediately thought of that demonic figure. It seems this talent, like his Rainy Night talent, has its main abilities in the substitute. He then eagerly summoned the substitute corresponding to the Emotion Igniter talent. Suddenly, the sky thundered loudly, and a pink figure descended from the sky. In front of Lin Luo suddenly appeared an expanding and contracting pink flesh ball. Lin Luo was again baffled. "What is this? Where's my demonic substitute?" He looked bewilderedly at the flesh ball in front of him and quickly checked its attributes. He was dumbfounded. The new substitute is named Fetal Movement. Apart from its full growth value, the other attributes are basically 0, and it only has one skill called Gestation. The substitute will absorb a certain main emotion decided by the host within a 300,000 meter radius as nourishment to be born. This means the substitute is not fixed in terms of abilities and forms, but requires the host's subsequent decision. Lin Luo decided to try it. He slowly closed his eyes, then activated the new talent skill, Emotional Induction. His spirit began to extend infinitely. The emotions of all beings in Hang City reflected in his perception. He seemed to hear countless voices. Various emotions accompanied by these chaotic voices appeared one by one. Helplessness, fear and despair, anxiety and anticipation. Soon, the 5-second duration of emotional induction ended. Lin Luo broke out in a cold sweat, gasping loudly. Although it was only 5 seconds, the emotions and voices of millions of people were terrifying. Perhaps only high-spirit mages could bear it without burden. Now, Hang City is sealed by white fog, filled with negative emotions everywhere. Among these negative emotions, fear is one of the strongest. This might also be the reason why Hu Jinming chose this emotion as the nourishment for the substitute. Unexpectedly, it gave birth to the terrifying Fear Demon King. Although Fear Demon King is powerful, it is a double-edged sword. Since the direction of the substitute's gestation can be chosen, it's worth sensing the emotions of beings a few more times. There might be better choices. After understanding all this, Lin Luo put away the new substitute and asked Master of Wishes about the location of Hu Jinming's daughter. The little girl was scared, huddled in a corner, waiting for her dad to come home. Just then, a knock on the door sounded, and Lin Luo's voice came from outside. "Xinhua, are you home? I am your dad, Hu Jinming's friend." Upon hearing Lin Luo's voice, Xinhua immediately opened the door for him. Soon after, the two got acquainted, and little Xinhua happily ate the food Lin Luo brought her. After a moment of thought, Lin Luo spoke. "Your dad is protecting Hang City and can't come back for now. He asked me to take care of you during during this time. Xinyue's eyes were full of admiration. I knew my dad was very powerful. Lin Luo turned to her and voiced his earlier doubt. Xinyue, you just opened the door for me directly. Were you afraid I was a trickster? Little Xinyue innocently said. My talent is emotional induction. I can feel that brother Lin Luo is only pure goodwill. So, Xinyue believes brother Lin Luo really is my dad's good friend. Lin Luo was slightly startled upon hearing this. He didn't expect Xinyue and her father, Hu Jinming, to awaken similar emotional talents. After staying a while longer, Lin Luo reminded little Xinyue not to open the door for strangers and then left. Lin Luo decided that once the fog cleared, he would send Xinyue to Wen Yuxi's home. Wen's mother, now retired, might be willing to adopt this orphan girl. In this chaotic world, people like Hu Jinming, unable to control themselves, are not uncommon. Conventional norms are no longer so important. For Lin Luo, only by becoming stronger can he protect those he wants to protect. To master his own destiny, even if his hands are stained with blood, he will never give up. The voice in Lin Luo's heart gradually shifted from hesitation to determination. I, Lin Luo, am neither a punisher of justice, nor a tyrannical dictator. I aspire to be the maker of rules. At the entrance of Hidden Spirits Temple in Hang City, 5 figures slowly arrived. It was Yu Taijie and others. He expressed his doubt. Why isn't it here? According to my past life memory, the wormhole guardian should appear here. Liu suddenly spoke from the side. I think before we find the wormhole guardian, our 5-person team needs a leader. What do you think? Old Yu Taijie's face was expressionless, merely asking non-committally. It seems Master Lu wants to be the leader. Liu's gaze was fixed on Yu Taijie. We are probably the most powerful awakeners in Hang City. Who else but me for the position of leader? I can defeat the other 3 alone. Only you, I cannot see through. Yu Taijie said indifferently. Although we are the highest talented group in Hang City, Dark Emperor has a significant head start. He might not be weaker than us. Right now, we need my past life memory to lead the way to level up. It's better for everyone not to fight among ourselves. Liu spoke with disdain. Aren't you overestimating that Dark Emperor? Didn't you say there was no such person in your past life? We both have SSS class talents. How could he be stronger than us? Since you're so wary of this Dark Emperor, if I kill him for you, take back his power, wouldn't that prove I'm more suited to be the leader than you? Yu Taijie dodged Liu's reaching hand and said indifferently. Dark Emperor took away my power, and I will take it back sooner or later, without your interference. Liu thought sinisterly. I wonder if killing Dark Emperor will allow me to take Yu Taijie's power. At the very least, I can't let him successfully recover his strength. Once he regains his full form, gaining control won't be so easy. Yu Taijie paid no more attention to Liu and turned to the young man at the back of the team, saying, Can you sense any trace of the wormhole guardian nearby? The young man closed his eyes, and in a moment, everything within a kilometer was within his sight. After a moment, he opened his eyes and slowly said, The strongest life form within a kilometer is a level 7 giant pincer mantis. Yu Taijie became somewhat annoyed and said, It seems the early mouse-level disaster has caused a shift in the position of the dimensional wormhole, making it different from my past life. Meanwhile, Lin Luo returned to the Hang City Administrative Center. His target was the wormhole guardian he had accidentally discovered earlier. Lin Luo looked up at the towering mountain-like monster and swallowed hard. This wormhole guardian is so huge, probably even one of its leg hairs is thicker than my thigh. As Lin Luo approached, the attribute panel of the Void King insect appeared before him. This insect, clearly only a level 34 D-class creature, had life points 10 times that of the level 35 ugly monster leader he had encountered earlier, and both of its skills were about summoning minions, a ruthless tactic of an insect swarm. No wonder Hang City had to deploy a large army and missiles to kill it in the past life. But apart from its summoning ability, it doesn't seem as powerful as it looks, and such high attribute values are the perfect target for Dark Emperor's seize by force. Thinking this, Lin Luo immediately summoned his 2 substitutes. Without a word, they charged at it. Dark Emperor directly used his exclusive skill, seize by force, but unexpectedly, the normally invincible seize by force failed this time. Lin Luo was slightly taken aback, not expecting the wormhole guardian to be so resilient. At that moment, the huge figure in front of him let out a thunderous roar. In the next second, the continuous, piercing noise of an insect swarm resounded in the fog. A dense army of insects quickly surrounded Lin Luo. Although they were low-level creatures, being overwhelmed by the swarm would make it hard for Lin Luo to protect himself, but the sheer number of creatures also meant a massive amount of experience points, which he didn't want to give up easily. Lin Luo immediately ordered Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya to abandon the Void King insect and attack the insect swarm. Lady Kagaya elegantly weaved through the swarm, gracefully reaping the lives of these hideous creatures, while Dark Emperor's punches exploded, turning the low-level insects into a mist of blood and remains. But the swarm was too numerous, and no sooner had they slain one group than another surrounded them. Even Lin Luo himself was quickly encircled by the swarm. Dozens of swift sword auras swept through, rapidly harvesting the lives of the insects. The sounds of gaining experience points were incessant. At that moment, a helicopter broke through the clouds, with Yao Muxian on board doing a report. The cameraman's face changed slightly, pointing to a spot in the sea of clouds. Yamushi quickly looked over. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see a gigantic creature emerging from the sea of clouds, and it seems there is someone fighting with it on its back. For the first time in her career, Yamushi lost her composure on camera, exclaiming loudly, "This is incredible. Although the world has entered the era of global awakening, most people are not of a high level. How could someone be battling such a mountainous creature? Let's fly closer. We must capture this hero's valiant image, and let Hang City and the entire world witness his bravery." Standing on the back of this colossal creature were Lin Luo and two others. The number of insects was overwhelming, causing Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya to rapidly consume their energy. Lin Luo immediately crushed a god-given crystal fragment to restore their energy, then ordered the two substitutes to continue slaughtering the insects without relenting. He also joined the battle himself, but the Swift Sword aura consumed too much mana, forcing him to buy a large number of mana potions through the game interface to replenish the rapidly depleting mana. However, continuing the fight like this was not cost-effective. Just then, he heard the leveling up sound in his ear. Lin Luo's mind lit up, and he joyously allocated all 8 attribute points gained from leveling up to agility, and all 4 skill points to all swords returned to origin. After the upgrade, all swords returned to origin would automatically generate 7 Swift Sword auras per second, and could recall the emitted sword auras unharmed, significantly reducing mana consumption. After level 24, the power he could bring out of the instance also reached 67%, greatly enhancing his combat capabilities. Lin Luo knew it was time for a decisive battle with the Void King insect to show who rules Hang City. The two substitutes led the way, firmly protecting Lin Luo behind them, and the trio charged from the back of the Void King insect towards its head, leaving no survivors in their path. With Lin Luo's roar, Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya attacked the Void King insect directly, while he himself unleashed Swift Sword aura to clear the path for the two substitutes. Lin Luo summoned the Master of Wishes, wishing that no insect could come within a meter of him. Then he abruptly pulled out an A-class Raging Crystal and used it on the Green Demon. An A-class Raging Crystal, now worth 3 million on the game market, could increase a substitute's abilities by 30% for 2 minutes. Dozens of green tentacles burst out from his back, twisting together with the Swift Sword aura to kill the surrounding insects. For a time, he alone held back all the monsters, creating a perfect output environment for the two substitutes. Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya crazily attacked the head of the Void King insect. Suddenly, the giant body of the Void King insect started to tremble, nearly throwing the unsteady Lin Luo off. At that moment, the life points of the Void King insect had dropped to 30%, and it unhesitatingly used its innate skill, King Insect Roar. An invisible sound wave rapidly spread out within 10 kilometers, causing both resting and feeding insects to stop and turn towards their king. Seeing this, Lin Luo's face changed, ordering Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya to continue attacking the king insect, not giving it any chance to breathe, while he unhesitatingly charged into a sea of insects several times larger than before. At that moment, the helicopter in the sky was still circling. Yamushi's voice was choked as she reported, "Ladies and gentlemen, in this moment of crisis for the entire city, our people have not surrendered. Look, on the back of that monster, someone is fighting bloodily with the creatures." Yamushi vowed to herself, she must bring back the entire heroic story of these heroes. She wants everyone to know who was fighting desperately for them in their most desperate and darkest moments. Such heroes should be remembered by all people. At this point, Lin Luo had gone completely berserk in battle, not even having time to check how much life the Void King insect had left. He felt his attacks slowing down, and his thoughts becoming sluggish. He had accounted for everything but forgot one thing. His physical strength was limited. Just then, the Master of Wishes appeared unsolicited, chanting softly, "Let me completely restore my great master's condition immediately." With the turning of the Book of Wishes, the somewhat slow-thinking Lin Luo finally regained clarity. He hurriedly thanked, "Thank you again, Master of Wishes." The Master of Wishes respectfully bowed. "Great Master, alleviating your worries is my duty. I shall take my leave now. I wish you great success in battle." At this moment, Lin Luo felt exceptionally energetic, his eyes shimmering with a cold chill. "Void King insect, let's continue and see who can endure longer." Lin Luo leaped high, slashing his knife towards the insect's head. Dozens of green tentacles instantly extended from his back, fiercely penetrating the king insect's body. The exclusive skill of the Storm Swordsman, all swords returned to origin, was pushed to its limit. With a huge roar, the Void King insect screamed in agony. Its last bit of health was wiped out at that moment, and its massive body fell unwillingly to the ground. The Void King insect emitted a piercing, earth-shattering wail, forcing everyone in a helicopter to cover their ears. Lin Luo exerted all his strength to slash at the neck of the Void King insect, severing its head. The decapitated Void King insect fell powerlessly to the ground. All around the globe, 6 consecutive announcement notifications rang in everyone's ears. Congratulations to the player Dark Emperor for being the first player globally globally to kill a wormhole guardian. Reward 1 10-spin lottery ticket for the destiny wheel. Reward 10 fate crystals. Hearing the global announcement, Yaomushi's eyes widened in surprise as she looked at Lin Luo standing on the insect's head. The first in the world? Could that young man be Dark Emperor? She then said with a choked voice. Incredible. I never imagined that the legendary figure who achieved multiple global accomplishments would be from Arhane City. The helicopter descended lower, hovering above Lin Luo. Seeing Lin Luo's youthful face, Yaomushi blushed, thinking, I never thought the legendary Dark Emperor would be so young. I hope I get a chance to personally interview this legendary hero. At this time, Lin Luo also heard a series of notifications in his ear. Congratulations, player. You have gained 43,200,000 experience points. Congratulations on successfully killing the wormhole guardian Void King insect. Congratulations on winning a 10 consecutive spin on the Fate Wheel and 10 Fate Crystals. Congratulations on leveling up to level 27. Fate Crystals can increase the success rate of equipment forging by 50%. A great item for forging equipment. 10 Fate Crystals equal a 100% success rate for forging equipment 5 times. With the death of the Void King insect, all the insects suddenly panicked, no longer attacking the enemies in the air, but scattered and disappeared into the vast fog. After the battle with the Void King insect, there were not many fragments of the God-given crystal left, urgently needing replenishment. The sacred forest should have refreshed by now. Lin Luo planned to quickly go replenish some in the afternoon. Lin Luo, leading a group of substitutes, walked leisurely on the fog-covered streets. He casually picked an Audi A4 and instructed, Master of Wishes, open the car door. Take me to Martial Arts Plaza first, and then locate Ji Waning's position. Meanwhile, in a factory on the outskirts of Hang City, several young men with cameras were filming a girl with lecherous smiles. The girl, named Ji Waning, had been wandering in Hang City since the destruction of Country R a year ago. Now, she had been tricked into this factory by several wealthy second-generation youths under the guise of filming a TV show. One of the rich youths said with a lewd smile, the TV show we're filming is exactly the kind you excel in. You're a famous actress, and it's an honor to work with you. As soon as he finished speaking, the men started tearing off Ji Waning's clothes. Ji Waning fell to the ground with tears streaming down her face, her hands tightly protecting her chest. Filming movies and TV shows had always been her dream, but she never imagined she would end up here, deceived by these wealthy youths and her agent. What these wealthy youths didn't notice was that behind them, a figure with black wings and horns, the charming queen, was slowly materializing. After about an hour of driving, the group arrived at a factory. Lin Luo looked at the locked iron gate of the factory, filled with doubts. Why would a woman be in such a desolate factory? Lady Kagaya cut the lock chain with one strike, and then Dark Emperor slowly pushed open the heavy iron doors. What they saw was not an abandoned factory, but rather a bar that had been modified. Lin Luo's gaze swept casually and saw several men lying haphazardly on the ground, lifeless, but with sleazy smiles on their faces. Lin Luo suddenly felt a sense of crisis rising in his heart. He quickly uttered in a low voice, I wish to be immune to any harm for the next 30 seconds. Right after he spoke, he felt a surge of pink energy rushing towards him. In the next moment, he lost consciousness and fell backward. Lady Kagaya quickly caught him, calling out loudly, Master, what's wrong with you? At that moment, a figure appeared in the distance, accompanied by a series of enchanting and seductive laughs. Seeing this, Master of Wishes immediately instructed Dark Emperor to stay and protect Lin Luo, while he and Lady Kagaya rushed into the mist to apprehend the troublemaker behind them. Meanwhile, Lin Luo, dressed in a suit, appeared in a room. The room was pink, and a wedding photo of him and Wen Yusi was placed on the cabinet. Lin Luo exclaimed in surprise, Have I already married Sister One? As Lin Luo pondered in confusion, the door echoed with two familiar voices. Wen Yusi and Lady Kagaya, dressed in seductive gowns, walked in. Their expressions were somewhat different from usual, a flirtatious demeanor with blushes on their faces, like ripe fruits ready to be plucked. This erotic scene made Lin Luo instantly spurt out a mouthful of blood. He felt an uncontrollable surge of emotions rising within him. Why are you here? And even dressed like this? While Lin Luo was slightly dazed, Wen Yusi and Lady Kagaya had already snuggled up to his side, accompanied by an alluring scent. Their hands gently caressed him. Back in the factory, the succubus queen narrowly dodged a strike from Lady Kagaya. Sweating profusely, she retreated to a position 20 meters away from Lin Luo. She had almost died at the hands of this young girl. Lady Kagaya and Master of Wishes were looking at her coldly. Lady Kagaya, with a frosty face, threatened, quickly lift the control over my master, or the next strike will end your life. She then turned to Master of Wishes, asking, didn't the master already wish to be unharmed? Why has he lost consciousness now? Master of Wishes, also puzzled, flipped through the book of wishes in his hand. It's strange. The wish has already been fulfilled. Why was the master still attacked? The succubus queen covered her lips with her hand and chuckled softly, because no one has attacked your host. I'm actually helping him. Your master is currently living a dream come true, enjoying himself in a blissful world until he's completely exhausted.